What's up, world, and welcome back to the Global Frequency. I am your host, Nefarious.
And I'm Frequency Girl.
And with us tonight is the one and only ever illustrious, never monochromatic Travis Gibb.
Never monochromatic?
I know, that would be his name. Yeah, that's what he said, yeah.
I said what I said.
It doesn't have to make sense. He just said what he said.
They're just words.
Right, I was trying to come up with like something, and then I forgot what it was, and I started talking, and you know
And
how
then
it
monochromatic
happens.
came out.
Right? So, my dude, it has been a while since we had you here. I don't remember what you were on for last time. Do you?
Expired number
It
one?
was expired number one, and now we're here for expired number two.
Oh, no,
and
it was Food and Nations number 3, I think.
I don't know. It's been a while. I mean, it could have been Granite
been
State,
9
could have been
months.
Cthulhu, Invades Wonderland, could have been a lot of things.
I looked it up before, and now I don't remember. I'm checking. I believe it is Voodoo Nations number 3 was the last one, and right before that was expired number 1. I will confirm while you two chat.
Oh,
You're
so
just
we can
gonna
chat
stare
now?
at me.
All right. So, yeah, it has been a little while since we had you on the show. What have you been up to recently?
Nothing. I haven't done anything in that time.
Yeah.
I
No.
You
just,
didn't just go to a signing in New Hampshire.
right.
and then
I
go
haven't
all the way up.
done direct market books, Coins of Judas and Granite State Punk.
Yeah, so you
Right, you haven't.
definitely don't have two books on the stand.
You don't have 2 books yet in the stores, so
Right.
you know. Like,
I haven't done
No, but-
already 2 Kickstarters this year, just stuff. Hi, Mo.
But like, no, really, what have you been up to though?
Nothing, man. It's been wild. Like it's weird going on for doing Kickstarter stuff because you like half of your fans are like you sold out because you went to the direct market, and the other market is you're finally big. Like, and then I'm in the middle going just buy my stuff, please. Like I don't care.
Yeah, I'm making books.
I don't care where you buy it.
Get it
just
where
buy
you-
them.
wherever
Really
you
buy
can get
it.
it.
I really don't. I'm just trying really hard.
We appreciate you.
Yeah, I got my hands on copies of Coins of Judas. I was really excited to see you and Tyler breaking into stores. I know that he's going to be heading to stands with Antarctic, I think, right? With
Yeah, it just happened last week. The Manga Z finally hit. Yep.
Right. The name of his name keeps dropping off the tip of my tongue. I should not eat chocolate cake before I come on live
I told
streams
him not to. and
because
he
my
did not
blood
listen
sugar is
to
all like
me.
crazy. Ben Dunn, that's it.
Yes.
Ben Dunn.
He's going through Ben Dunn at Antarctic, I believe, to go to stands with Niobe and Demon Hunter Raven and all the rest of those cats over there. What?
Mobig says, yeah, the mainstream fans are like Neff with his thigh checks. You're finally big.
Oh, Mo.
I
Got
like
me
that.
going.
It took him years, but Neff is finally posting his pull list, showing that he's going. So I've known he's going to comic stores for a while, but I like seeing it weekly and seeing what he's pulling. That makes me feel good.
Yeah, we
Last
actually
week,
didn't post last week.
Last week we got everything
Everything.
came in, and we
Right.
were in the middle of like doing actual like work and stuff.
Are we? Sorry, Neff's computer is bugging out. Are we still? You can still hear us. Okay.
I
Might
can
have
still
to
hear
get
you.
the external cable. I mean,
Alright,
it looks
we're
like
good.
it's fine. Yeah, last week we were in the middle of doing work and stuff, actually, like, under deadline and time crunch. And we went to the comic book store and, like, everything on our pull list came in.
Yeah.
So it was like all of these books. I was like, I'm not photographing these and tagging everybody.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
just
you
not
did
doing
photograph
that.
them.
I photographed 2 things. I photographed the Coney Waves and
Yeah, but that was nothing from our pull list.
I found the 2 things that
I
were
know.
in the store in the bins
Yeah.
that I found, and I was like, "Oh, look, this is so cool!" Because like we know these people and stuff.
I will take photos and I will
Do you
post
want
them.
to? Do you want to take? I talked about these with Adam.
Did you
These
go
are
this
literally
week?
the ones that I talked about with Adam.
We didn't go this week yet, but I think the only thing on our pull list that was in this week is I think Behold Behemoth number 4 came out. But last week we had
You
Brian,
have to get
Homa.
Punisher this week. Punisher, even if you haven't been reading Punisher,
Okay.
I have not.
it is such a it'll catch you up in that one issue, but it is such a heartbreaking scene that you never realized you wanted to see until you see it. Like it's a scene that you've wanted to see, like, and you never realized or never thought that you'd want to see it until you see it.
That's
Well, now I'm intrigued.
interesting to say about Punisher. I'm going to go get this thing and I'm going to read it now. and I'm going to have to post on Twitter whether or not you were right.
Right.
And if you were wrong, I'm going to be very sad, but I'll still forgive you. So, the things that you've been up to, Coins of Judas, Granite State, tell me about your experience doing that. I know you were like overwhelmed and, oh, it's great and we're doing stuff, but like, tell me, what's it like putting together a comic with Tyler? I mean, that in and of itself is one question. And then what's it like being on deadline and putting out a series into stores?
So we'll go over Coins of Judas first. It's not hard with Tyler. Tyler hits deadlines, I hit deadlines, and luckily, like when they hired us to do that book, because they hired us to do that book, Band of Bards, we got a lot of leeway because they knew we could hit all the deadlines. So we were really good at doing the stuff. They didn't really harass us. We got to do our own thing. We didn't actually use any of their production team because I was like, Jerome knows how to do it. Like right. We'll get you the files. You just lay back. We're gonna handle this, But it's wild, man. As I've talked to you guys before, like manga's not my style. Like Tyler would never have been my first choice to do an ongoing series with. And not because I don't love Tyler's work, it's just manga's not my thing. But it came as an anthology. There was an anthology that they had called Tales from the Static. I wanted someone who I hadn't worked with before. I was like, hey, Tyler, do you want to do a quick 7-page of me? We haven't done a lot of stuff together. We did one Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies backup story that was 2 pages. You want to do a longer thing? He's like, yeah, sure, man. Whatever you want to do, I'm in. And they were like, hey, can you make this a full-on series? So we did. And it was kind of cool. It was 2 issues. We have 2 more coming out. Working with Tyler,
not wanting to ever do anything with Tyler.
No, he's talking about manga not being his thing.
Yeah, right.
You don't know. Most are very.
Mo might want to do things with Tyler, but he does not want to do manga. That's for sure.
So like, what is that? And it's been really interesting too because there's so many things. Like, there's so we go into red. You guys are manga guys. You know how they have that like red and white color palette, like the 2 color palette that they do sometimes in manga. Like, I hate that. I despise it. I despise it with all my being. But the letterer, the editor, Tyler's like, the colorist, they're like, no, this is the way it is. This is the way it's done. I was like, all right, I guess we're going to do that. And that's hard, like not being in control and trusting your team. But it's so wild, like seeing, it was both. I feel you, Mo. I feel you. But getting it out there on time, getting something out that you could only buy from the direct market, right? You couldn't back my Kickstarter and get it. That was so fun. And getting people like you and so many others like posting about it online was wild,
Yeah, it's cool.
And then Granite State is in stores too.
Right. And now Granite State was so special. In fact, you read it and you're like, this is special. This is
your best stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like regardless what anyone says, I don't care. I know writing. It's your best writing.
It is 100%. It is 100% my best writing. It was so good, this con that I went to this last weekend, seeing like people from New Hampshire who get it on that extra emotional level than just someone who read it and like loving it. Seeing people on YouTube who I've never interacted with just reviewing it because they bought it because it had that Scout label. It's so wild. People who ordered it from random stores who have no interaction with me, like giving that to me. It's so wild and it's so beautiful. Like, just being able to interact with the fans on that deeper level and like they're all in now. Like, what else do you have? Like, what was super fun because the show that I just went to, which I highly recommend, Old School Comic Show. It's 100% comic show, no cosplay, no fan art, no nothing, just comics. I mean, there was 5 amazing fantasy 15s in the room. Wow. I've never seen more than 1 in a room. It is crazy.
That is crazy. How much were they going for?
Lots. They were not cheap.
Lots. Yeah, we maybe need to hit that up. Not to buy the Amazing Fantasy, I'm saying, but just like, be present and maybe hawk our wares a little bit. Mm-hmm. You can hawk the wares. I'll go shopping.
I got to hold one once. I was at a comic store when one came in, and I was so happy that the comic store was honest and like said, "Hey, this is a really good copy. Like, you need to CGC it. Then we can talk about buying it." Like, and then here's the worst part: they CGC'd it, and those effing people at CGC ripped off the cover because I held it in my hand. It was intact, and they were like cover detached. I was like, You bastards.
Oh my god.
That's fucked up.
Oh. And like, there's no recourse for that, is there?
Yeah,
Hey, what's up,
once
Edwin?
it's done, it's done.
We got Edwin, Raid of the White Leopard launching on Fun My Comic April 28th.
Nice.
I'm going to add this to the
Yeah,
stream.
so this is, I forgot to
Post
do
it.
anything with it, to post
Yay.
it or text it or anything, but that is Granite State Punk on the shelves
At
in
our
our
shop.
local comic book shop.
There it is.
That had to be rough for them being in Connecticut. They had to be like, fuck New Hampshire.
I was actually just going to ask, what's it like having two publishers putting out your work? Are they like competing against each other? Like, you know, buy my Gibb, don't buy his Gibb.
No, they see they know that one fuels the other, and that like it both brings out my name. And I'll tell you, sales wise, like Scout may not like me saying this, but stuff they're only a 500 or 600 copies difference. It's not a major difference between the two. And now that could be me, but I also think it's the market, right? You look at Band of Bards, they only have like 4 titles. You look at Scout, they have 14 coming out a month. You know, there's a big difference,
Yeah.
you know, in marketing and all that stuff. So I trust the CDC. CDC. Damn.
I was a savage.
Mo, pay attention to my Facebook. I trashed a Granite State Punk. We had the whole team at MegaCon trash it for days. So for a couple of days, like putting pizza on it, twirling it up, running it over with a car. We are trying to get a 0.5. And I'm going to be so mad if I get a 1 somehow.
Did you detach the cover?
No, I wanted to do it without like fully
Gotcha.
destroying
like just guaranteeing I got it. Like I could have ripped the page out or whatever. Say
Yeah.
So I was trying to get
You wanted to get it beat up to the point,
to the line.
but not actually like completely defaced. You weren't gonna like remove the staples.
Noble goals.
We signed it, and then we asked for the markings. You know how they asked the little markings? We asked them to go, did not fill out forms for signatures, stuff like that, which is really great. Even though we submitted like 12 books that day, and like that one's like, we submitted. I wanted to make it look like we messed up and didn't know what we were doing.
So this thing could actually wind up being like a collector's item, because I'm sure there are a whole bunch of Granite State Punks created like 9.8 and
Right.
And you know, like signed
Like, he
and everything like
posted
that.
one the other day.
But this might be the only 0.5 out there, because it took so much effort to bring it home. It's just put it in a bag, getting it off the printer, you sending it out for grading. You don't have to do anything.
Right.
But you guys put blood, sweat, and tears into making this thing happen.
It's way harder to get a 0.5 than a 9.9. I didn't know that.
We got Scott with us. What is up, Scott? The Flock. Flock is now live. Definitely go check it out.
Check that out.
It's really exciting to see his launch. He's already funded too, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
So, you know, just jump in on it if you can. Maybe you can find the link. I certainly can't.
I will look.
Don't trust me to type.
Mo says, if you send Punk Droid with the Manger story ripped out, the grade
Increases. Because that's the one where you have to turn it over too.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
We just had a guy on doing an anthology with a bunch of people. And the anthology is on Kickstarter, and it's called Punk Droid. And actually, one of the guys you might know, Greg
Moquin?
Moquin?
I don't know how to
He
spell
knows
that.
you, though. He
knows
knows
me?
you. I don't know how.
He listed you as like one of his indie comics.
Yeah, I was like, so who in indie comics, you know, you're
What
talking
are
about
you
like
reading?
indie, who have you been reading? And he's like, oh, Travis Gibb. And I'm like, hey!
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 Oh, Greg. Oh, yeah. I know Greg.
No, he's like, yeah, no.
Seer Nova Comics.
Yeah,
Comics,
Seer
yeah.
Nova
Yeah,
Comics.
yeah.
Yeah, he's put out like he's got 6 different titles, which is really great. We're still trying to like collect, you know, enough to be putting out a substantial number of titles. I'd like 4, right? Like I'd be happy to hit
working
4.
on it. We have Mavericks, we have Judex
Flock
coming
is
out.
at 867. We're getting
Nice.
close to breaking that 1K. Yeah. 25 days still to go. Drop that up in the chat
I'm
so we
dropping
can
it.
have our viewers.
Well, you and Greg have
Moquin.
a
at Mo.
something for Orange Cone that very few people have.
Do we have
paid for
backups?
character- He paid for a character in Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies. He's the limo driver. for Mr. Washington, and you are expired number 2, the one that we're going to talk about in a minute.
Which we should talk about. Yeah, we should talk about that. That is incredible. Yes. This is going to be a thing now, Justice for Greg.
Well, because the theme was that everyone's name had Mo.
Right. Yeah, I know, Greg. Great taste in books. Yeah. This is good stuff. Good stuff. Why don't you bring up the campaign page? Because you were all like, I've got it. I've set it up. So you set up the page. You add it, and we will start going through the campaign for expired number 2.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to talk to Travis.
I mean, we could, but I do want to look at the campaign and see
I love to talk to you guys all the time, so we can talk anytime you want. Like, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I miss you guys when we have more Mavericks.
I miss you too.
Well, there's a lot of Mavericks coming.
It's coming.
Oh my God, there is so much Mavericks coming.
There is.
It's a feat. It definitely is.
We're working hard every day. Have
Yep.
stuff in the pipes, and we'll be
Well,
making...
like I said, you are the top dog of anybody who's given out rewards. The top dog of everything. Like I don't even know what to do with it. In fact, I was going through my comics yesterday and I found your box of like extra stuff, and I was like, it's an oversized box. I want to keep all this extra stuff, but what do I do with it?
What drawer do I have that I can hide it in? Like, where's the tackle box? I can just stuff it in there. I never go fishing anymore.
And I throw away prints all the time, but you can tell that these prints cost money. So you don't throw away good prints that cost money.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
they were pretty good quality.
You can use them to prop up stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. What did Mo say? He said, how come Neff never uses his dead-on freak girl voice on the shows? She can't be here. Huh?
You impersonated me, and you did a good job.
Oh, I did a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't
You
really
talk
that
like
dead-on.
that,
Yeah.
so
No.
when I'm not there. But
No,
I'm always here when Travis is here. It's
Yes.
like a rule.
Yes,
Oh.
we can't have you missing.
Yes.
We still got to do that vampire game.
But
We
Yes.
do. It's been a while since I played any vampire, man.
We need to
played
do it.
anything.
Forever. Yeah.
Werewolf
I haven't
5th edition comes out in August 21st. I got a random message and they said they were scared, and I'm scared too.
Yeah, I love werewolf, so
It is your
it is my
preferred
favorite.
genre.
It
That's
is,
my favorite
yeah.
too.
But that was Apocalypse.
See, that's why we're
You
best
never played Forsaken.
That's fair. That's fair.
You never played Forsaken, and Forsaken was a bit darker, a bit scarier. Apocalypse always had like that hope, yet foregone conclusion that you lose.
Yes.
Something like desperate hope fighting against the
like-
dying light.
like
Rage. That whole.
They were superheroes.
They were in a way, but it was like you're going to lose. There is no way for you to win this. It is the darkness is closing in, and all you can do is fight and die an honorable death.
Well, one of us has to run a werewolf game. It has to do a werewolf comic, so we can put that as a pledge level. Play with Neff, Frequency Girl, and Travis Gibb.
Oh man,
so
that's
we can get a couple
Dude.
people.
it's funny because
I'm
Garrett
down.
was talking about that like a year or so ago. He's like, I want to do a werewolf comic next. And so we started kicking around some ideas, and I started developing characters and kind of like an outline. But every time that we started like getting into it more, it started resembling White Wolf too much. It started resembling like, I'm like, but this already exists in this part of
Right.
White Wolf. If you look at Werewolf Dark Ages, this idea already exists. So it's hard to break away once you've been playing or indulging in a particular hobby, like say mecha, right? Like if you've been playing a lot of Robotech, it's hard to get away from Robotech when you're doing mecha, because that's like what you've been exposed to for so long. So I guess what we would need to do is we would need to go out and like consume all sorts of other werewolf stuff and see if we can like cleanse our palates and wash our brains. And
There is a Werewolf by Night comic.
there is a Werewolf by Night comic.
Yeah.
It's a remake of a very old comic
Yes.
too. I mean, it's not like a remake;
But
it's a,
it's like a
reboot.
reboot.
Yeah.
If
If you could reboot something, Travis, what would it be? What old series do you think would make a good new series today?
I've had answers for this, but they keep remaking stuff, so it's hard.
So you have to change it.
You can remake the remake. Is there like an old
Is that like an
series?
Inception?
Is there like an old series that you think, regardless of whether or not they've done one recently, that you would want to take on and do again?
JP says maybe a werewolf Mexican soap opera.
So in comics, I'll do comics first before I go to TV and movies. Obviously, New Warriors. I feel they never get a good rap. I feel that the last almost New Warriors we had may have killed it for a really long time. but I still think it has a shot if you get the old cast back together. I think it has a shot. But for TV, I think Stargate still has some blood in it. I think Stargate still has some juice left over. Either Stargate or Highlander. I think Highlander, like, you got to go clean. You can't do a reboot. You have to go like clean. Or Stargate, I think you can go clean, like remake or what requel. I think Stargate, you can go requel. You can keep what's there. But I think Highlander, you got to start. There can be only one. You got to get rid of all the other ones.
Yeah, you could start the new one in Ireland.
So we were talking about Highlander in our last stream. Well, Mo was.
Yeah, and it was never
guy
mind.
was
It was
from
a callback. It was a
It's
weird callback, weird tangential callback.
Well,
It
as
made
long
us
as
laugh.
they're in a high land, I think it could be anywhere. It could be the White Mountains.
That's fair.
We could do it in Tibet. That would be interesting.
Mount
Have
Fuji
like a Tibetan.
is highlands.
That is.
They say
Imagine
Mount Fuji's going to explode soon. I'm really excited.
Imagine if, like, Highland. The reason why it's called Highlander is just you can only become immortal if you've decided to live.
You're above a certain altitude.
Right? That is the secret to immortality. It's not any of the other things, not the aliens or
It's
any of
just
that
altitude.
bullshit. Altitude.
It's like you have to boil water longer. You can also become immortal.
That's awesome. I love that idea. You'll be glad to know, I guess, that Amazon, I heard, was pouring through their MGM library that they picked up, and among RoboCop and Legally Blonde, of the properties that they selected to remake,
Highlander.
was Stargate. So that might be coming soon. We
coming.
might be seeing a new Stargate.
So you might have to change your answer yet again.
No, he could keep it that he still wants to see
Oh,
it
that's fair,
remade,
that's
not
fair.
that remade.
Well, I wanted a requel because I don't think there's a bad Stargate series. I just think it kind of got boring, right? They didn't really. They made it episodic. TV had kind of gone away, like the Buffy the Vampire, like,
Right.
solve the plot in the day, and they did not adjust, right? And then they went crazy, like what is it called? Babylon? No, not Babylon 5. Battlestar Galactica. Like, everything was cloning Battlestar Galactica. So the last Stargate series, like Stargate Universe, is just Battlestar Galactica. But Battlestar Galactica is on the same. It was both on Sci-Fi, and they did it better. So
Yeah. Until the ending,
until the
which
ending.
we shall not speak of.
Because the time has come and the time is now.
Yes. That is the worst
Guys,
bit of dialogue
Baltar
I've
was
ever
so
heard.
good until the
We're
last
like,
season.
yes,
and
yes,
I was like,
the time has come and that time is now. What? Did you just forget your line and they
could've
didn't
done-
edit it
they
out?
could've done-
I don't
the whole, like, Cylons are angels and humanity needs to be remade. I don't know. I lost the plot because I think the writers lost the plot.
Well, because the Stargate being boring is just remaining true to the spirit of Stargate.
I like
I
Stargate.
agree.
I did.
I agree, but too boring. It needs to be in the middle.
We got the flock asking serious questions. You've created 19 campaigns on Kickstarter. Do you get nervous at launch?
These days, yeah. I mean, Kickstarter is such a different animal. I mean, the last one that we did had 250 backers and was close to 6,000, and I'm not even at 4 yet. So it's a different animal, like Kickstarter these days compared to what it was. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's everything writing itself. I think we had the collector's market for a bit, and that collector's market's kind of gone away, and we need to readjust, and it's going to be based off writing. I also think my art team is better than the team before, but you're like, well, the first one has this art and this one has this art. It's two different. There's a lot of variables to those things. So yeah, I get nervous every time, just different reasons why I get nervous.
I gotta ask you then, it's a popular conversation that was going on today on the Twitter. What's up, Frog G? Been a while, man. Glad to see you hopping on in here.
I also want to say hi to
Hey, Frog G, long time no see.
Sis Picks.
Resterpix.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I said though.
Hi, welcome to the channel. Sorry if we butchered your name.
or are just being insipidly stupid. But
I mean, we're always that, so.
right. Well, welcome to the channel.
And hi, JP.
So there was a conversation transpiring around Tyler's recent endeavor of making a campaign, not advertising the campaign, getting funded, and then making a point that Kickstarter has a meta or a set of criteria that tends to cause comic books that meet those criteria to perform better than others in the Kickstarter algorithm, hence not needing promotion to get funded. Where do you lie in the understanding, believing, agreeing, disagreeing spectrum with this whole thing? Do you think there is a Kickstarter meta? And if so, do you think you have to adhere to it in order to be successful?
I wouldn't say meta, but I mean, going back to our first conversation when I talked about there is a better search algorithm on Kickstarter. There is a better fan base on Kickstarter. Like, that's easier to find stuff versus the next biggest competitor, which is Indiegogo. Indiegogo, you got to bring every single one of your fans. The positive of that, though, is it really means something, right? I brought all these people over. Like, it tends to do that because you bring very, very little. I think Tyler cheated a little bit. I mean, I would have liked to see it on a non-booby book.
No, that's the meta, though.
Yeah.
But that's the meta.
Right. No, I get you.
Sexy Witches Academia is
and
like...
it's NSFW, so it's not just like, oh, it's a booby book.
Well, there's an erotic, like, cut scene that he removed that has, like, explicit material, definitely R18 sort of.
Right,
like,
that's what I'm saying. It's not even just like sexy girl on the cover.
But that's what he
which we
was
know does
saying.
well.
He's like the part of the meta is the subject matter. Part of it is the art, the presentation. Honestly, like, I looked at the campaign page. The tiers were intelligently designed, and the campaign page was really nice. The way that he designed that campaign was very easy to navigate the page and see all the things that you wanted to see. But that said, there tends to be this idea that sex sells and sells better on Kickstarter than it does on Indiegogo or Crowdfunder or Zoop or, you know, wherever else that crowdfunding occurs. Do you think that that's true? Do you think that that's... Why is that?
Well, so it's very frustrating because I don't do the sexy, and I won't do the sexy. I have kids. I don't really want to do that. I don't want to encourage I have 2 daughters. I have a 21-year-old and I have a 10-year-old. Like, I just don't want that. I tend not to buy it unless it's really good stuff. Like, you have to really have like solid plot for me to go that, because I can't say I've never.
Yeah, I buy it for the plot too.
But I think sexy does just as good over on Indiegogo as it does on Kickstarter. I think just Kickstarter does more of it because it's more people have done it over here. When you've got, you know, Lady Death in the catalog here, Kickstarter, you go where the sexy people already are, right? You go where they are, and no one does sexy better than Lady Death except for maybe Elvira or like Vampirella. You know, maybe that's like a hard maybe.
I mean, you got she on both Kickstarter and Indiegogo, though.
Right.
And Tucci doesn't really do like super booby. He
Right.
does pretty, you know, like he does curvy.
Yeah.
He does
Right.
scantily clad, but he doesn't do like gazongas hanging out with like, nipples pointing up in the air.
I have to say, I do think the, like, specifically NSFW covers, I see them much more on Kickstarter. I've seen them a couple times on Indiegogo, but I haven't seen them as much or do as well. And like you said, that could just be because there's more of it on Kickstarter, and that's where people go for it.
Well, let me put it this way. I know a lot of people that crowdfund on Kickstarter and on Indiegogo. Some do both. Some do one or the other, right? The majority of the people that I know on Indiegogo do not do booby stuff. A good number of the people that I know on Indiegogo do
Kickstarter.
on
You said Indiegogo
Kickstarter
twice.
do booby stuff. So from where I'm looking at it, there's a certain group crowdfunding on a certain platform doing comic books one way. And there's another group of people crowdfunding on a different platform a different way. So from my point of view, I'm like, yes, there's definitely a difference here. Have I gone through and like looked at all of the campaigns kind of historically represented in the comic book section to see whether there's more scantily clad people on Kickstarter versus Indiegogo? No, I have not actually done those numbers. That would require way more time than I have available to me right now. But I think just based off of the last 2 years of the trend, I would say that Kickstarter's variant covers, booby covers, more boobalicious subject matter. I mean, just look at Armin. right? Look at
Yeah.
Armin Nassim. Armin Nassim started off, he did 12 books, right? The one that did the best, that stuck, was Lunar Smoke. And Lunar Smoke, he turned into an even more boobalicious book. And Lunar Smoke 2 demolished his first goal and actually got him into, like, I think the 20,000 tier, right? Like, so there it is. Like, the dude did like 4 other books prior to trying that, and all of them did okay. And the ones that he ran on Indiegogo got, like, I think $6,000 was kind of like around his height, and then he crushes it on Kickstarter with the titty book. So,
I mean, all the big people in Kickstarter unfortunately have a boob book, a boob cover. You know, they'll do the cover. Even things like Nightwolf, which never had them, the last 2. This latest campaign that just came out today literally goes back. Hey, did you miss booby covers on your past ones? We're going to do all of them, 1 through 7. You know, you can get it. It is the trend, and people are going through it. But I also think part of that, and why you don't see it on Indiegogo as much, is Indiegogo as a whole tends to do less covers.
That's
like a Kickstarter will have like 12 or 13 covers sometimes. Like, it gets ridiculous. Yeah. Where an average Indiegogo probably has 3. You know.
And I mean, Frog G's got a point. We do have Boob Dan does have Goblin Girl, right? And we've seen Gem Shock, we've seen Pirate Queen, we've seen other books on Indiegogo that are just like, I'd have to stop and actually go and look, that do have scantily clad people, but
they're still clad.
They're still, exactly, they're still clad. There's a difference. And with something like Mavericks, I don't think my story, my genre, right, is conducive to doing like booby stuff. I mean, yes, I have female pilots in skin tight plug suits, you know, jacked into mechs. I could have like very easily a well zipped down to the navel boobalicious shot of, you know, my main character. Hell, we had Autumn Ivy do a cosplay calendar for us, right? Like, it could very easily be something I could lean into, but it doesn't really feel authentic to the story, the genre, and all of that, to just make it sexy, to sexify it, right?
Well, Vic says, if you want to be taken seriously on Kickstarter and don't have at least one variant cover for every letter of the alphabet, I have nothing to say to you but good luck.
Yeah, Flock says, Travis, do you like variant covers? I personally like only a couple variants, but what's a good cap? 2 to 3? Some campaigns have 15 variants.
I don't think you should ever do a campaign with less than 3 on Kickstarter. I don't think you should. But I will tell you, I love it and I hate it. It's one of those things. Like, when I go to a con, like, if you've ever seen my table, like when I post a picture, like, how do you sell all these variants? Like, it's really, really hard. Like, and I'm trying to figure out a solution, maybe making the Kickstarter ones really just Kickstarter. Like, I'm only going to print whatever's on the Kickstarter and that's it. Like, call it a day, trying to figure out that algorithm. But I think you need at least 3 on every campaign. And the way I view it, I don't view it as like most people are just like, oh, I'm just trying to sell these things. I'm giving it as, you need to build something so people can invest more, right? They're not just going to give you extra money for the one thing, right? So give them other ways to invest in your book. So the more covers you have, the better the investment can be. Also, the bigger investment that you have to spend too, but that's a separate conversation altogether.
Right, yeah, invest in your brand though, especially if you believe like in doing this, you really want to do this. The more money that you put into it, yeah, it's like, it gets you nervous. You might not make it back, right? But if you're investing in it intelligently, and that's the thing, you need to have had some experience to know what is intelligent and what isn't intelligent to invest in. If you are investing in it intelligently, you will get mileage out of these things, right? Like, if you're doing interior art and you're investing in that, you will get mileage out of that, because every issue that is printed has that interior art, and that goes to the stores. Every time you reprint that, every time like you make a trade paperback out of that art, it's going to make the return on the investment. A great cover can also provide you a lot of return on investment, but and like pay for itself and then some, right? Like, you can definitely recoup the cost and then go beyond. But I really think that like investing in the interiors is a lasting that's a lasting investment, right? That's the type of thing that when you put the money in it, it's going to stand the test of time more so than just a cover. But cover's easier to recoup, right?
The secret to comics is in the resell. Once you make it fronts, variant covers. I mean, even in your standard, if you ever make a standard size, that's a completely different version of the book. If
Not
you ever
happening.
go bigger,
We'll never be standard.
Standard. No, they're all doing me now. Did you see?
Everyone's coming out with 9 by. Did you see Forged?
Did you see Forged, the new mecha comic from Image? They went like super big. Yeah, man. Yeah, I was like, see, yeah, that's right. Trendsetters, baby, trendsetters.
Yes, make sure you can't have a collector's market and you don't know where to put it in your collection. I love my Mavericks that I have to. The positive is I have to keep it on display at all times because there's no place to put it.
That's the point.
Yes. Our plan is working.
And people come over, they go, "What is that gorgeous spot gloss Akira homage cover you've got there on this enormous book that's so colorful? Tell me more, Travis." And you'll be like, that's my friend Neff. I've got the secret ins if you want the goods. Check out all of these toys that he gave me. But yeah. Scott says, as a creator, I would rather have the variant covers be used as Kickstarter only, bringing your audience to back the campaigns and standard covers as shops books, which are not crowdfunded books. I don't know if I read that correctly.
No, I was laughing at Mo. What homage?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know what he's talking
I don't
about.
know. It was Garrett's fault.
Yeah, right? It was.
It was Garrett's fault, Mo.
Yeah,
We
blame Garrett, right? Even though it was my idea.
So let me answer the flock of what I understand of it. So just so you know, most Kickstarters, most publishers like SourcePoint, Scout, Band of Arts, they want a separate cover for the direct market. They want at least something new to get at, which I don't think is a bad thing.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah,
we were actually thinking about cutting it down a little bit, closer to magazine size, just in case people did want a CGC grade.
I want to CGC it.
I know you do. I know.
Well, we'd have to. Volume 2 will have to be the same size, but like.
Well, when we do Mavericks Origins Volume 2, it'll have to be the same size to match, so that if we do the collected version, it's not two different sizes, unless we completely redo it. But we haven't, decided where to go with that yet. Anyway,
We'll
the point is for the next crowdfunding campaign, we were thinking about shrinking down the supplemental material, the additional stuff, to a more palatable for collectors, palatable size, like a magazine. But I still don't know. Like, I'm going back and forth between it. And we were talking about me. We shouldn't be doing that. We should talk about you. Expired.
We can talk about Mavericks all day. It's a great book.
It's a fun book. I mean, it's going to get better. It'll be better.
Will there be a soundtrack to Mavericks?
I have not come up with a soundtrack idea yet. I would love to do some sort of composition, but I'm afraid it would be like too industrial sounding and like.
It's something that we've thought about. We don't have it in motion yet, but we're not saying no.
All right. So what we're focusing on right now is we're focusing on action figures, and we are focusing on a tabletop, a turn-based war game that becomes a RPG.
Mavericks is a John Cena homage.
Can't CGC me. Oh my
I
God.
want that so bad. I want that so bad. I want that so bad. Please make that a cover. Just a Maverick going like this.
Oh no! Oh my God! I just got it. We could do a lenticular. Because it would work.
Yeah.
It would work if you did it like a lenticular.
Dude.
We got to do that now.
That's going to be a thing.
The lore is strong on this channel.
And yes, I pinned Mo's comment.
Why don't you guys just print the books the same size when you want to do omnibus?
Because omnibus is going to be bigger. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be a full table.
Also,
it's a table that comes in the mail. And you can
also, it's dimensions. A 9x12 isn't quite the same aspect ratio as an 8 1/4 by 11 3/4. So it doesn't quite fit the same way on the page. If it was just sort of like stretch it and reduce it and maintain the same proportions, that would be one thing. But like 6 point what by 11 point what regular comic book, right? Like this could not be a 9x12. The page would look completely wrong. And pre-press, you could not save that in pre-press. You'd have to put big dark borders around things. It would look all sorts of bad.
Well, have you ever seen the legendary editions that Scout do? Like they do like a full issue and it's full comic page size. It's a full book comic page size, black and white.
No, I got to check that out. Those are the legendary editions from Scout.
They're called legendary editions. They've done one for White Ash for what is it? Recount. They did one for.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Cool. We'll have to check those out, but not right now because we are talking to Travis.
The negative, though, a lot of damages come when they ship. Obviously.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to snag one of these. Back to the show, though. So, what do you want to tell everybody about Expired #2, other than I'm in the book?
Which I mean is
why you should guys.
And Travis wrote it.
I mean, even if you're just getting the basic tier, you want to see me in print. I know you do. I'm the collector's item.
I agree. It's funny. We had two people back to be in the book, and one of you guys ended up a bad guy, one of you ended up a good guy, and I really like that. I'm not going to tell you which one's
yeah,
which,
that's dope. That's dope.
I do like that, and I can't wait to have you two fight in the future.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I have to run upstairs and get my plug.
Oh, so apparently Neff's computer is unplugged.
Like, about to die.
Hey, if we go dark, no, we're okay. We have a little bit of run fast. I don't know why he decided to try and do 2 streams with no plug, but
at the same
it's
time,
Neff,
right?
you know? Exactly. You never know what he's gonna do. So yeah, I'm gonna try and scroll.
Okay, yeah. So Expired, we have a new art team from the beginning. It's a way better art, in my opinion. Looks a lot cleaner. Looks a lot. So the bottom is the old art, and the top is the new. So you can kind of see like drastically different, but I think in the positive. Expired is about basically when you're born, you get a bracelet. That bracelet tells you how many breaths you're allowed to breathe in your whole life. And this, we kind of go in the stories of someone who's at their last 12 days and they're trying to figure out what to do. This is the second issue. It's been a while since this came out. This is actually almost a year and a half. We have a very cool Ryan Brownie cover that's connecting, which is very cool. Oh, Neff's back. He made it.
Yes. Made it, and we did not lose the stream, so win-win. Woohoo. Oh, wait. He needs his headphone back, doesn't he? That might help.
Oh, what are we looking at here?
This is
looking at the covers and talking about how we have a new art team.
Nice.
And we're showing off the dragon from issue 1, which is cool. We have Ryan Brownie back doing a connected cover from A, which is pretty cool. If you scroll up a little bit and then down, you can see cover C is a connecting cover. Hey, Mike. See, cool. They connect. See, he draws women way better though. He draws a good, sexy woman. I think that's, and I do think that's one of the difference of how this is a little lower because she was a sexy chick. People bought the sexy chick. I needed more sexy chick covers.
Yeah.
But we had a dragon. I think dragons are sexy. Is Game of Thrones out?
Yeah, I think dragons are awesome.
I really like the cover.
Yeah, with
I like the eye. I like
the
color. I like the staging of it. I like the angle that it's at.
That's a painted
cover.
Very
striking. It's a very striking cover.
Yeah, and we talked about the new art team, the new art team from what it was before, which is cool. The Baggs brothers came in and they've been killing it. They've been doing an amazing work on these covers and putting these things together, which is pretty cool.
Now, did you actually like scroll down far enough to show pages?
No, not yet.
We haven't yet, no?
No, not yet.
This is where we're at.
Show the dragon because it's great.
I will. So you go back to StreamYard and I will go back.
People think dragons are sexy.
I remember the art team on the first Expired. It looked a little bit rough. I knew that you guys were gonna find your stride and figure it out. But look at this. Look at this. Yeah. Look at your new art team, bro.
Right? They're drastically better than the last one. And that guy. I've said it in an interview. I'm not sure if I even said it in yours. He was a little hard to work with, and it was rough, and we didn't get what we wanted, and this is that. In fact, this art team is working right now on redoing issue 1.
Huh. So wait a minute. Wait. So your first artist, it was a little rough. They were difficult to work with, but the new artist came in very easy to work with, very professional, very skilled, and they're going back and they're redoing issue 1?
Yeah, unprovoked. Like I said, hey, we could get to it later. We were going to work on issue 3. They're like, we have nothing on our plate right now. Can we start doing it now? Because I want to go. I'd rather give people the whole story first and then keep, stuff. But we'll go back and like when we do the trade, it'll be all one person's art. which will be cool.
Nice.
So why do that? I mean, I understand changing artists and everything, right? And I understand the wanting to redo it, but like, is that a common thing to do? People just remaster their stuff with a new team?
I think in comics, look, Neff's right there.
That's me.
Hey, look.
He's a
That's me.
sniper member
I'm
of
a
the
badass.
frequency.
Yes.
Looks just like him. Look.
I look like Deadpool with the mask off. I mean, he definitely got my jawline, you know.
Yeah, like I guess if you had no hair,
Right? It's the hat. Like
Yes.
we took a photo with the hat
That's
on. He's like, I
fair.
don't know what his hair looks like,
That's
so just
fair.
got him
Right.
bald.
Right.
fair.
You probably didn't have a
Travis
you
is-
found an old picture?
Travis has assured his readers that they won't miss the hot babe once they get a load of the thick green beast on the cover. One hell of a dilf. Well done, Mo.
Hey, Dinks, thanks for
Everyone loves
watching.
Delph.
Yep, a big old dilf.
But
People
we're adding a
think,
lot of characters in there. But go back to your question. I think in indie comics it happens a lot where people don't like their first team and they go and redo things. I think it happens a lot in indie comics. But I'm a big proponent on moving forward. So that's why I'm like, let's finish the series before we go back and do that. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I don't want to sell someone the same thing. You know, I'd rather finish the story. And then if I go back and rewrite and look at number one, I may want to rewrite some of it too, right? Because now I have a better idea of what the ending looks like. Let's go do that. So we're continuing to move forward. Look at how manly and aggressive it is.
I really like this character, Echoes. She looks great.
I have to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Catcher's creepy.
He's probably supposed to be.
I like his dragon though. He's got a cool looking dragon thing.
Yeah.
So
It's pink and.
is that
green.
like a little slug on his left shoulder and a frog
Yeah,
on his right?
he's kind of like a druid.
Nice.
Is he sitting or is he just really short?
He's really short.
That's awesome. He's this tiny little
I can identify with him.
Jawa sized, critter dude. I like it. All right.
Yeah, we added new members to the good guy team, and we added this bad team for the next one. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
I mean, he captures my expression here.
Yes.
That's definitely
That
me.
is
That is
definitely
me. That is
that.
my.
I
I make that expression all the time.
Yeah.
I don't even know why. Like when I told them, I was like, "Here's the guy," and that's what they came up with, and I was just like, "I'm not even gonna ask. I like it. It's fine." Like, 'cause it's more like
Nice.
These poor fools that are trying to stop us on our motorcycles. They've got no idea what's about to
You're
happen
not
to them.
sharing your screen, so you're playing around and talking about something that no one else can see. So why don't you go back?
So this is us rolling out with our bikes.
right.
We're going to go ride in the park. I've got a really cool bike. Mine's got the cool blue headlight.
Right.
And looks like has those like big off-road treads on it, like,
And
like
it clearly
big,
has
strong
a
tire.
some sort of triangle, and in superheroes, like if you touch it, something happens. It either morphs or like you get a power gem. Like
Dude,
it's
I
not a
wonder
regular-
if I could wear
Does it
my
turn into a
motorcycle.
mech?
That would be awesome if I could wear my motorcycle. Never be without your ride.
A guy
And
who
then,
writes-
I don't know, these guys are like standing here with their guns. They have no idea what's about to happen to them. That's terrible. These poor fools.
Right? They're arresting your boss.
I am the law.
He's the law.
Then you
Oh,
got-
but these are beautiful. The art
Yeah.
is definitely an upgrade.
I like the
100%.
sky, the color of the sky.
Yeah, it looks really
Yeah.
good.
Every page was so good coming out and like trying to figure it out, and he mastered all the characters and going through, and it's really great to see the progression. This one really goes into Dusk, the guy over there, to the yellow guy to the left, hit that race's origin, because that's a race of people, what they're like, what they're about. We go to their island in this issue and everything that connects to it.
Nice.
I really like cover B. I think it's still my favorite. Mo's right. It's a DILF cover.
It's a diff cover.
Yep.
And that's hand painted, which is pretty cool.
Now,
is
do
very
you have the original art for that?
Someone bought it.
Ah ha ha. Lucky bastards.
Someone bought
But
it.
it's
Oh
all
yeah,
out,
you can
though.
tell it's like an oil painting.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Oil and canvas, right?
Yep, it's all in canvas. And what you get, Neff, when you back it, actually got something special for you. So we made these for
Ooh.
MegaCon. Yeah. So not only will you get the regular cover, but you'll also get the ash can. See, we made this ash can from Megatron, which is
nice.
weird
Ash can?
to do an
That's so
ash can for issue 2, but we did. We did that.
Just as sort of like as a teaser for people at the con?
Well, the people who were there, so I got them a really cool gig, and I think you bought this cover too. I think you saw us live. I think you bought this. Did you buy this? Was I right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you buy the Ric Flair?
The Ric Flair cover? I don't
No,
think so. I don't
you
know.
just bought the Granite State Punk medal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought the medal.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they did this cover, and they're a friend of mine. I got them, so they were coming to the con to celebrate this, and I was like, "All right, well, let's print some of your expired out and get you excited," you know. And they did this cover too. Look at this. This is my
That's
favorite.
a gorgeous cover. Oh,
Look at
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the covers on Coins of Judas have
Yeah.
been fantastic.
So
It's really pretty, really
Very
pretty. What's that finish? That's metallic, right?
This is a
Chromium?
metallic figure. The chrome
Okay.
chrome covers, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's chromium or whatever they call it.
It's very cool.
shiny.
Hey, we got
cover.
Jimmy Reyes with us. What is up,
Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy? Just got some mail from you this morning. Really exciting.
This is Travis Gibb, and we're talking about Expired and No Contest, which are the 2 Kickstarters that he has up right now. And we're also talking about like all the other stuff that he did, like Coins of Judas and
Yeah,
Grand
stuff
Fleet.
that's going to stores.
Yeah.
Frog G says Neff wanting to wear his motorcycle makes me think he misses his Heelys. I do. In fact, Mavericks, when we designed them with the wheels in the back, the
Yeah.
design is kind of based off of
Heelys.
Heelys. So
And so like, funny you
very
should say
perceptive,
that.
Frog. Very perceptive.
Nothing gets by Frog G.
We've been playing with the foot designs though for
Not
volume.
playing with feet, playing with mech feet design.
Thank you for covering my ass on that.
You're
yes.
welcome.
See, I
but
would
we've been
prefer
with-
that you bring it to the internet and be like, "So, anybody with a foot fetish, please come." We have these
Send
next-
robot foot pics.
I was gonna say, are there people that have robot feet?
Robot
I
foot
mean, I
pics.
imagine, right? There's something for everyone.
There is amputee people who are into amputee. Maybe they're into like the crazy, mechanical feet.
Like cybernetic
go.
foot. Yeah, that's
Maybe.
really, really creepy. But yeah, I could see that.
Possibly.
Right. What about this other book that you got going on? The background that we have right here.
Oh, I have to.
You have
So
to
that
reshare.
is
Yep.
So one of the things that's interesting about both the books that I have right now is Expired and No Contest is they're both co-written. They're both hired for me to write. Expired, we talked about that last time I was on the show. Expired was written by me. This one's written by this one's created by a local lawyer. His name is Daniel Martinez. And he hired me to write about kind of like his fictional life because his real life turned into fiction. So he's really into MMA. Like he has a gym at his law firm. So we wrote one issue, kind of promote his law firm and kind of promote his love of fighting. And then he just loved the process of making comics so much that he's like, can we make this a series? And I was like, sure, we can make it. So it's kind of Law and Order meets UFC meets with a little bit of Daredevil in it, right? So we have a little bit of law, a lot of fighting UFC, and then we have some very comic booky crime stuff. So I take some of my, that's the lawyer right there. I'm putting us together.
Very nice.
But yeah, it's an interesting book. It's a lot of fun. We did this. We get some really cool covers. Like I love that cover right there.
Yeah.
And it's about a lawyer who basically, in the first issue, he interferes in this UFC fighter's life, and because of that, gets involved with this bad guy named Bruno right there, who's kind of messing up his life, messing up everything, and all these fighters want out of the contract. So he's kind of in the mix of it. What's cool about it is we did that homage. That's a Daredevil homage right there.
Yep.
And unlike normal homages, which I find which annoy the hell out of me, that actually fits the story. Isn't that weird? Like actually having the homage like be part of the story instead of just doing a stupid cover. Wild.
That is a good point. So it's part of the interior art.
Right?
It's like related.
Oh, okay.
Like
Yeah. The stuff that
Daredevil.
happens on the cover actually happens in the book.
Actually happens in the comic. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times
I
you
like
see
that.
homage covers, they don't really relate to what's in the book. It's just like we love this cover.
Nope, you're right. I've seen a lot of covers that just are sort of either
Homage has been another topic
Topic.
of debate recently. As
Yeah,
well.
I posted our Shelby homage in
Yeah.
that topic in that thread, the one with Jester in yellow, and there's and then
the Mav,
Yannick
and
Yannick's spirit. It's the
Yeah.
John Romita Jr. homage of Peter Parker walking away with the Spider-Man sort
Like
of
Spider-Man No More?
ethereal. Yeah, Spider-Man
Yeah.
No More, and it's funny because. It's spoilers. Everybody already knows Jester dies in the first
Not
issue.
everybody knows.
Everybody knows.
Not everybody knows.
So it's Jester no more. That because he's the outline, not the mech. The mech is there, and then his spirit is. We did something fun. I don't know.
So this one we're letting you be drawn in. There's a scene where you can be drawn in as examples.
As one of his training buddies or something.
Those are random fighters who wanted to be bought in. He pre-sold it prior to the campaign. So that's one page. So the page will look just like that, just on the other page. But even if you're not a fighter, we'll put you in. You'll get a little bit of dialogue, and we allow you to use it for whatever you want and stuff like that. This is a great team out of Brazil. They've been doing a great job.
Yeah, the art looks great.
Good.
Yeah,
Jimmy
really
Reyes
good.
is very upset that Jester died.
Yeah.
You didn't tell him. Oh,
Yeah.
Sorry.
Jester's dead. Sorry, Jimmy.
Told you
It
not
happens.
everybody knows. You can't give spoilers.
It happens.
It's
but
still
you get,
worth the read. It's good.
you
It's
get
good.
more Jester because the great thing about a character dying in continuity is that doesn't prevent you from telling other stories about them
That
before they
happened
meet their
prior
end.
to.
So when we do a lot of the vignettes and the one-shots and the Maverick stories and side missions, we've got some really cool stuff about Jester. Actually, Nandor Fox, who did Seasons and Lifeline, wrote a nice piece about Jester. It's like
it's
a
really good.
16-page
Yep.
story, and it's wonderful, man. It brought me to tears.
Yeah, it's very well done.
Yeah. So yeah, there'll be plenty more Jester, just not in volume 2. You don't see him anymore. Oh well. So what's the plan for this? The art team is gorgeous. This is the first issue in the series. It's going to
Second.
keep going.
This
Oh,
is
the
1 and
second,
2.
right?
Yep.
This is the second. How many issues do you have planned?
We're going to do 5. We're going to go to the trade, but I mean, he's loving it. He's loving it as part of his law firm. He's loving it as part of his thing. And it's true to life. Like the woman in here is pregnant. His wife, he just had a baby on my birthday, April 14th. So his wife had a baby. They're opening up a gym, a local gym. That's featured in the book. So it's kind of true to life a little bit. But what's cool about it, as we go, we're getting to add some stuff. He's a criminal defense lawyer, so I'm going to have to add some of that bad stuff, right? He gets bad guys back on the street and what that looks like, which I think is kind of unique. That's what issue 3 is going to be about. It's kind of developing all these things and trying to figure out what it is. It's interesting doing work for hire and getting hired to write stuff,
Oh yeah, I do. I know. And
yeah,
it's actually a
you
lot of fun.
Talk to me about this stuff. Yeah,
And it's a lot of fun getting involved in other people's projects when you get brought on. The first time it's like, oh my God, you thought of me. And the second time it's like, yeah, let's get to work. And the third time it's like, I know you want me. I know. And then and then it just becomes fun because like you get to see what other people are doing and participate in that. I mean, personally, I love bringing people into play in my worlds. You were part of the Ashcan anthology, or the Ashcan anthology, because we're doing a regular anthology. It's not an Ashcan this time.
I mean, technically it wasn't an Ashcan, but
It was totally it was an experiment.
Okay,
It was an experiment. Dude, we figured it out that we wanted to do it at the last minute too. So it's kind of a.
Well, I want to play again. Like you had a very set thing of what you wanted me to write that time. I'd like a little bit more freedom next time, and I think I can.
Oh yeah,
do better.
Absolutely.
We're
We've got
actually gonna
more
talk to you
stuff on the
about that
table
later.
that people, if you want to jump in, we should talk after the show.
All right.
This is a great poster.
Yeah. So what this is these are UFC champs that he sponsors. So on the right is the fictional. That's him in the middle. That's Lorenzo Hunt is to the bottom. He's actually owns a medal for kickboxing. That's Michael. Oh man, I can't think of his name. I feel so bad. But that guy's actually an undercard for UFC. Mike, if you scroll up, it'll probably tell you.
Scroll up.
Yeah, damn it. Can't think of his name. Hold on, give me a second. Here, I'll look. Hold on. And then the other guy to the left is another fighter. And all of them are pro real fighters, that he sponsors for UFC, which is pretty cool.
That is very cool.
It's really well drawn.
Hold on, where is it? I wrote it somewhere.
I really think the color does a lot too, like that.
Yeah, for the MMM. So it's really, really cool. He does a lot of really cool stuff. So I love it. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's really interesting too, as he like the first book I kind of just wrote whole plot, everything. Second book, he's like, oh, I have a little bit more opinion in the story. The third one's like, hey, can we really seriously co-write? Like helping build a creator, and building this team really cool. And building stuff, which is really fun. I love that. I'm hoping that in the last issue or whatever, I'm just kind of a consultant, and really doing less of the writing, which I think is great. Bird is the word. Maybe. It's always bird.
Hey, Larry. What's up, Niobe? Oh, no. Now Neff is going to sing that the whole day.
You ever see that Family Guy thing where it's just the recurring Peter Griffin?
Yes, over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's yeah. I've
around Easter, I saw this trend on TikTok that basically explained on using biblical verses that Jesus says he's a bird, so bird is actually the word because the word is the word. It's this crazy thing, and it biblically made sense. So bird is the word, I guess.
It's quite good. So how many issues did you say you had planned for this? 5.
We're gonna do 5. He wants to do a trade. We're gonna get it out to the trade, and he wants to go to direct market, which is pretty cool. It's interesting. It doesn't. We've been struggling on Kickstarter with it, but it's part of it. It's because it's kind of like self, right? Like he's the lawyer, he's the main character. So I get that. So that's part of it. The other part of it where I think that it does is I don't think no one has a huge interest in seeing a lawyer in his life, right? They don't buy the Matt Murdock book, they buy the Daredevil book. So trying to figure out what those things are and finding its fan base has been a lot of fun, right? I actually think that's fun. He doesn't view it as a negative. I don't view it as a negative. It's finding that fan base that fits, because the first one we leaned heavily into the UFC. They didn't translate. All right, cool. So let's lean more into the comic. All right, cool. That doesn't translate. So what can we do? So obviously booby covers.
More booby covers. Hey, you want to triple your totals, right?
Right. No marketing, booby covers, follow Taylor.
But I mean, for a UFC style comic book like Ring Babes, it's right there. Just have the chick with the the issue number 3 card held up, and he's in his corner. He's getting the towel from his manager. What? He's getting coached by his manager.
Yeah, he's actually a boxer, even though he's a lawyer and he's a boxer, which I think is wild.
That is very, very cool.
I think some people would buy a Ricada book only if they get to watch him get beat up.
But yeah, I love this book. Like I said, this is the second one in the series, and we're gonna keep going. We're working on the third right now, trying to get going. So I think it's gonna be around for the long haul. It's Orange Cone produced, but it's not Orange Cone. So meaning you got my wife as a letter, you got Jerome as a letter, you got the whole team, but it's his book,
Gotcha. Cool.
So,
you have a ton of add-ons, man. I love it.
Yeah.
So he got quiet and distracted.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For which one? For this one or for the expired?
For expired, you've got a ton of add-ons. You've got a ton of add-ons for this too. Holy crow.
Scott.
I've got the whole Orange Cone. So if you miss something, jump on in.
I don't think there's much that we have.
I think we have the whole Orange Cone. But I'm talking about you got No Contest issues 1 and 2, right?
Right.
And then you've got add-ons for that.
Yeah, I think some of the stuff that you've done for other people we may have missed.
Actually, you have less add-ons for No Contest than you do for
right, because the Orange Cone catalog doesn't jump over. Right.
Right.
Gotcha.
Cover C is really cool, though. I like that.
Yes.
The UFC.
I thought you were still talking about the dragon cover.
No, that's cover B.
Oh,
that's cover B. Okay. Cover C is the UFC fighter cover on No Contest.
No, I think that's covered.
Man, you have so many books. It's hard for me to keep track of them all.
It is, man. It is, and that's That's why I don't message people, because I'm like, when's your next Kickstarter? Oh, probably next month. So
yeah, it's actually yesterday.
Right. I don't want to say, hey, can you just put a time slot in once a month? like it's not fair. So I try to to jump around, and then I know certain people like certain books, right? Like if I ever do a Granite State Punk, I'm going to tell you guys, hey, make sure you get me on, this Granite State Punk. And then this one, I reached out to you because I was like, hey, you're in this book. Make sure you saw it for Expired.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also bad at paying attention to stuff because we've got a lot on the plate as far as creative work and stuff that we're doing. So that's really been sucking my attention a lot more. I'm still adjusting to having like a professional schedule, doing writing and comics and stuff.
Yeah,
I was not
make him get up and do stuff.
I was not doing that when I was doing Mavericks. Mavericks was like at my own speed, working with Garrett, trying to stay on deadline to be able to fulfill on time. That was the only thing that I had to worry about. And now it's like I'm juggling other schedules with other people. So it takes a lot more of my attention during the day, whereas I could normally be like surfing through Kickstarter and Indiegogo and seeing what campaigns they are and inviting people on the show. I get very distracted. We actually had to cut down the number of shows that we do a week because of this. So I'm very grateful when people reach out and go, hey, I've got a book and I'd like to come on your show. I very much appreciate that because it means I don't have to pay attention and people just be like, hey, there's a thing.
Yeah,
let's do a show. I'm like, great.
Yes.
Well, especially with you, most people's shows are only Indiegogo or only Kickstarter, where you travel lands, and you said you have a Fund My Comic one. So like you're jumping around to everything, on
Edwin's coming on to do Fund My Comic. Raid of the White Leopard looks really great. Maybe we'll have Dillard on to do Buckler, the second. Both of those are Fund My Comic exclusive too. And Raid of the White Leopard looks really dope. Like I was surprised. If you've seen Edwin's books like The Ace, it's very sci-fi. He's got Akula, the shark with the metal legs, who's still my favorite thing, on two metal legs.
Buddy over there.
He's the battle buddy. Yeah. But this is like very Conan-esque, very gritty looking, very medieval, and so it's like a completely opposite side of the spectrum from like what I would expect from. It's not exactly opposite side. Opposite side would be like Malibu Barbie romance from like gritty space alien, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, it just looks a lot different than what I would expect from him. So I'm excited to see what it winds up as. But we haven't had anyone from Zoop yet.
Okay.
I don't think we've had anyone from Zoop.
Yeah.
So we might need to look to see what's going on.
I mean,
over
we
there.
wouldn't say no to them.
Just because I think it'd be interesting to have someone. The thing is, like, Zoop runs the campaign for you, right? Like, you don't really run your own campaign or promote your own campaign. You don't set it up. Yeah. You just kind of like put it up and Zoop does its thing. So it's kind of weird to have people on the the tour doing podcasts and live streams and everything, trying to promote their project if Zoop is the one that's managing the campaign page. It was one of the reasons I didn't want to do Zoop. I like doing special tiers. I like doing sudden events. I like, on Mavericks, I did like the whole secret declassified prints that were only available for 24 hours after we went on a certain show. Couldn't do that on Zoop, which was like, well, I don't want to use your platform.
Mobig says Neff is searching for the next Zooper star.
They had a book called Scarlet Twilight recently that was so good. That's going to the direct market. If you ever look up that guy's really, really cool.
Really?
I'm going to add that to my list of tabs that are open because Travis said words.
Yeah, Scarlet Twilight. You can get it in direct markets. A Red 5 book coming out pretty soon. That guy has, that artist, you should hire him for something. He's really, really good.
Oh, cool. Look, it does look good.
Yeah, look at that guy. He's a full, does the whole thing.
Nice.
Very nice.
Yes, we'll have to add him to the Rolodex.
See what?
But yeah, he does. It looks. He loves Zoop. By the way,
20s almost. Like it looks very pulp.
He loves Zoop.
He loves Zoop. Yeah, he was a big Kickstarter guy, and then jumped to Zoop. And he's one of the few people I've seen jump over with zero ramifications.
Really?
Scarlet Twilight. Yeah,
nice.
It looks very pulp. I do like the look. I like the cover. I mean, I'm looking at shit and they can't see what I'm talking about. So.
Yeah, if you scroll all the way down and you look at his stuff, like it looks like a very, very good pulp, like like someone trying to redo pulp in the modern setting.
I think Aldous would actually really like this. Sadly, it's Zoop, and I don't think Aldous likes Zoop.
Invite,
I'm not
share.
Invite. Yeah, I should share.
Present.
Okay. That's the wrong button.
You can order it from Red 5. Red 5 is going to do the direct market.
Oh, cool.
and I'm just going to share it really quick.
If you can figure out how.
Shut up. I was on stream with Juanito like yesterday or on 2 days ago. I remember about actually adding the thing to the stream. Not Juanito, Poncho and Ali. So this is the cover of it, right? This very like
cover.
It's pretty good, right? There, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
That's some nice interior art right here. You get that.
Yeah, he does the whole thing. Benjamin Morris does the whole thing.
A lot of words.
Nice.
Of course, it's pulp. There's a lot of words.
It looks very cool.
And it's about a
Dude, he did an apron.
That's
Fuck this
it. Neff
guy.
is sold.
Fuck this guy. He did an apron.
Oh,
I
that's
missed
true.
the
Like you love
apron.
aprons.
I do.
And yet he doesn't cook.
No,
I mean,
I
that's
just
not true. He can cook.
I
He
just
doesn't.
wear them in the nude.
Wow, this looks great. Yeah, good stuff. So cool. Who needs screen sharing when Neff paints such a vivid image with his words?
One would never know I'm a writer.
I remember back in the day when I used to get mad at Mo for all his insults, and now I just embraced it and loved it and feel like he should just like do a pass on my comic books. Hey, can you make this funnier?
I
feel like you really have to be. If Mo is silent or worse, nice to you.
Yeah, you gotta worry.
I think then
That's when it's bad.
worry.
Yeah, if he's giving you the raspberries and making fun, then he's having fun with you, which means it's a good thing. I would not do these streams if it wasn't for Mo Biggs. Like
True.
flat out bar none. If I did not get to see Mo type, I guess if I didn't get to read his comments, I would be very disappointed. So it's one of the reasons we don't do shows on Thursdays.
That is true. It's not officially a stream unless Mo Biggs is there. Is it still
What?
up? Can you still purchase?
I don't know.
Thanks.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh, you're shopping now.
No.
Okay.
Travis shared the link, and before I put it in.
No, I just
chat.
he was
just
doing
to
his
look
thing.
at.
Yeah,
Got
just
it.
to look
Okay.
at. I don't think
I just
you can
wanted
buy
to
it
check
after
it
the
before I
fact.
put it in the chat to be like, here, you can get it here, and then not have it be a thing. But I don't know how Zoop works, so.
No, I would order
needed
it
a
from
moment.
your local comic store. You can just order it. It's from Red 5. It's coming out, I think, 2 months. It starts with issue 1, so you can just get the Red 5 edition.
Excellent. We will have to ask our comic book shop.
Mose, don't say
They're
thanks,
not
brother.
really the
like-
best on top of everything.
What?
Like
thank you,
Mose, thanks, brother. No, that's too weak. Like you should have insulted. You'd be like, go F yourself.
About time he recognized how important I am.
Right, exactly.
Well, I mean, that's why the rule is in the chat that we do whatever Mo tells us to. He has all.
That's why
control.
I'm not wrenched on my own channel.
There's actually like a super mod ability, and I don't know how. I tried to give it to Mo before, but it was just like remove as a moderator, and I'm like, no, I want to make you the
Wait, so
super
that would
mod.
give him the ability to mod and unmod people?
I think
That's
so.
too much power.
But I mean, he already has that ability. We can't mod anyone without his permission. So
I mean, true, but like if we give it to him, then he's gonna expect it from everybody. Everyone's gonna have to give Bo Big super mod.
they should.
I'm just worried about my wrench on certain channels. You know what I mean? Because I remember when I pissed Mo off doing the manga show, and he timed me out in every chat.
yes, for like a week. If you say that word again, then
Mose, he said that if you're silent, it's a problem. If you're nice.
nice too. Like if
And
Mo's
nice is
polite-
relative,
Yeah.
Mo.
Oh boy. So you were saying like your next Kickstarter is going to be like right around the corner. Can you tell us what it's going to be?
Yeah, we're finally gonna get that broke down and 4 body straight. I put it off last year. I didn't get it out. It just didn't hit the schedule. So I have stopped everything. I know Voodoo's done. Voodoo 4 is done. We're basically done with Cthulhu Invades Neverland. But I'm like, no, we need to get this friggin' broke down and 4 body straight, because if I don't do it, like people are gonna forget that it was even a thing. So the next Kickstarter is the broke down trade. So we're gonna hopefully get that out and get that done.
Flog wants to know, what is your favorite genre to write in?
Crime or punk, which is not a genre, but I made it a genre.
Have you ever read Punk's Not Dead?
I have.
It's so good, right?
I loved it. I was
Recently.
shocked that I loved it.
Yeah.
Um,
Because the
it's
cover
so good.
didn't
It's
sell me. I saw the cover and I'm like, I don't know. But then I saw the interiors. I'm like, and I heard the premise, and I'm like, oh wait,
Thank
this is
Shelley
really
Bond
cool.
once again.
and did you
yeah.
read it all the way through?
I'm waiting on volume 2, London's Calling, but I read the entire first arc.
She actually reads things.
I do.
Yeah.
I look at the pictures.
I read all my comics. Although I haven't read the newest Little Monsters because there's only like 2 left, so I'm like saving them. And this is supposed to be like the artist's like favorite issue that
Justin?
he did.
Justin's favorite issue?
Yeah, Dustin.
Where's his
McCoy.
where's the pile of comics that we got from the comic shop? I'll go read it and I'll tell you
I
whether or
don't know.
not
You
it's
take
worth
them for your videos and then they disappear. I
don't know
think
either.
they're all over there. But
No,
He
this
doesn't
is
read any of those books too. He just wants to
they're-
let people know that he bought them.
it. Right.
No, he does. He does read them.
Exactly. I never, I don't read those either.
No,
But
there are
this is-
some that are just mine that he doesn't. Okay, so then they're
this is
upstairs
all-
on the.
And this is Dark Ride. And
Then they're in the kitchen. They're in the pile of
I should
comics
show
in the
you
kitchen.
guys this table someday, and just the piles and stacks of comics everywhere.
Mobix says, now that you've captured the scaly market, have you considered a scaly furry crossover like Cthulhu invades Pooh's Corner?
We are gonna do 100 Acre Woods, but Tigger is not available.
Yes! Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yes, but Tigger is unavailable. So
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so until Tigger is available, I'm not touching it because I don't believe you can do a Winnie the Pooh without Tigger.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
I'm on your side on that.
yeah.
Neff only looks at pictures, fits in with the NSFW topic earlier in the stream.
It's true. Yep. What's plot?
Tigger, please. says
I like it if I can look at the panels, if I can read the story sequentially without the words. I think it's a well done, successful story.
Yeah.
If the words add additional context that make the pictures richer and like the narrative fleshes out because of it,
Right.
then it's successful writing. I really like it when there are less words because it makes the words that are there that much more important. I don't know if it's just me, but like if you're looking at a page that's like Bendis, right, and there's like bubbles all
Sure.
over the place, it's like a slinky worth of bubbles. I don't want to read any of them. Give me 2 word balloons. I want to read them both. Give me like one balloon here, one balloon here, and just like a sentence in each one. I need to know what those say because they're so important. But like you write an essay that looks like someone's colon coiling around the page. I don't want to look at it.
I mean,
Yeah,
why
it's-
not when
it-
you painted such a pretty picture?
It's hard, and people like was a lot of the negative feedback. The only negative feedback that I got from Granite State, they're like, "You write a lot of words in this," because I'm not afraid as an indie writer to not have words on a page.
That's
Where
different.
most-
Your words are the reason to read that
Right.
book.
Right.
Like
Well-
that's the thing. Like you're reading. It's like I don't want to give him too much of a compliment.
Right, I understand.
It's like reading Kerouac.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's like reading something that's really worth reading for the words itself.
Yeah.
So
You're really gonna love issue 3. I'll give a little spoiler here because I like you guys. But issue 3, I have the young Zeke come out because we've had young Zeke in every issue do a little bit of stuff. But young Zeke comes out and harasses old Zeke, like in the breaking the fourth wall thing. It's like that's not how you were at all. Like you used to believe in anarchy and talk about a young punk rocker like lifestyle and attitude and adjustment. Talk about anarchy and it's the only thing. Like wearing T-shirts with bands on it because you need to know who your tribe is. Like that was so much fun to go like even one step further. Like
Nice.
more like Kerouac. Am I right? You have to keep his ego down. That's right. Just take him down a peg. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, but that, I'm serious. It is still an example of what I think is your strongest dialogue, your strongest paced narrative. Your other stories are good, but they're like, I don't know, they're entertaining. This feels almost biopic in a way.
Well, I think it's because, it's got that personal element, right? It's got that extra personal element to it. You can feel it in every word and every sentence. It's got, it's a more lived in world, when you come to that stuff. And I had, I was processing stuff and you could feel it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I've said a lot of people broke down. The reason why I wrote that book is both my parents died in New Hampshire and I had a kid. and I needed to figure out a way to love my state again. So I started writing a comic. It was never meant to be in New Hampshire. I just started writing, and then it became in New Hampshire, like as it grew. And then I started like processing what I liked and didn't like about the state, and like kind of therapeutically wrote it through and did all that. You know.
We got Rick Saylor with us. What is up, Rick? Bow!
Look at that Venom.
That's it.
That's a good Venom shenanigans.
Yeah, his avatar.
Yeah, that's why I brought it back up.
Yeah, I didn't get to see it.
I know, that's why. Well, I thought you were looking this time.
He wants to see it now.
Yeah.
Well,
see it.
you have eyes. So.
Oh, so mean to me.
Here you go.
So
See?
mean?
Look.
No, it's okay. I'm zooming in
Okay.
on my screen.
Well, you're
Oh yeah,
dumb
dude, that is
'cause
dope.
I made it big here.
That almost looks like. Yeah, it's dope. It almost looks like Venom possessed the Violator.
That would be gross.
Of course, it's from Shelby. That's why. Yeah.
Of course.
Crack Pack out here in the chest smoking crack day. Bow. That is it right there. So what else you want to talk about, bud?
Whatever you want to talk about, man. Like, what do we got? We've got the stuff. We've got the 2 campaigns. We've got $70 to fund expired, so we're pretty close. We'll probably fund tomorrow. What else?
Yeah, you got how many hours is left?
We've got 36 hours.
Oh, it's plenty of hours.
So we got more than
like
enough.
right there too.
So we're right there. Neverland's coming together. Neverland's coming together right now, which is pretty cool. So we're working on Neverland, we've got some great stuff. I don't know if I told you, we have Cullen Bunn.
Nice.
I heard about Cullen Bunn.
Which, at the time was a big get, but now he does, 12 books a month. So, not as impressive as it used to be. So, but yeah, that's wild. It's got to tell you, like Neverland, it's the most ambitious one we had yet. You're going to see a lot better writing this time because everyone could kind of lean on the characters in Wonderland and Oz because the characters are so vivid and they're heroes or they're crazy or this and that. Dude, in Neverland, you've got kids. You got another group of kids. You got Indians, which you can't touch that much because it's very racist. You got fairies. You got mermaids. You got pirates. That's
Pirates!
it. End of list. Like you think it's like this vast world, but really it's pretty basic. Like I had to dig deep to find some things. I was like, all right, there's Neverland birds, which you may not know of. There's a big giant bird that carries Pan around in one issue and one thing. There's a crow that goes between worlds, but that's it.
The real challenge is getting Cullen Bunn to not answer this one. I don't get it. That one over my head.
Because he's saying he got a real get. They thought it was a real get. I
Oh,
it is
so
a
because
real
he's
get,
doing so
but
much.
It was like
yeah,
a big deal.
Right. Maybe you could just
then,
disconnect it and you'd start
because-
doing less, and then right. It's like Dale Keown covers, right? Everyone's got a Dale Keown cover. It's not special anymore. Mermaids are better than mermaids. Yes, G.
I agree. That Mermaid book looks fantastic.
AR 13L. Yeah. After AR 15 orangutan.
Yes.
We got a lot of going. Oh, Mo, I don't know. Did you see Ariel? I can't call her that because we'll get struck by Disney. I don't remember.
Call her the Mermaid.
The Mermaid. Did you see she's got a little seal pal who's all dressed up like a Navy SEAL? And I was like, did he talk
Navy
to
SEAL,
Mo or
Navy
not?
SEAL?
Yo, I'm not kidding. Do you mind, Travis? I'm just going to snag this if I
go ahead.
can. Twitter.com.
If it's a private message, then don't share it.
No, I can find it without it being a private
It's not live yet, is it?
No.
No, but you can sign up for it right here, I think. Or, yeah, maybe. I think so. Bobik says, I did not see that. First, I've heard of it.
Give me a second. I'm going to find it. I don't know if
Neff is
anybody
looking
else
for you.
kind of saw it or, excuse me,
He
or
better
thought of
not
it.
be like Air Bud, except Air Blood.
Oh, so here's the sketch, real quick. I'm just going to show you the sketch, and then I will continue to look for it as the
Are you sharing?
the colored image. I'll share.
Okay.
I'm gonna share.
There we go.
Yeah, everything about see, that's a good use of crazy stuff. Oh, look at that seal.
This is a Matt Barr pinup, and that's Dell, the seal.
So he's not named Baby Seal, Navy Seal.
Right, but he's got like a Navy SEAL kind of like equipment outfit. If you minimize me, I will go find the colored version, which I think was done by Billy. So give me a second to go find it. You gonna drop me?
Yeah, I stopped sharing my screen.
You should get rid of me.
Stop sharing my screen, accidentally thinking it was your screen. And I'm like, why is that still on the screen? Yes, we're very professional
We
here.
are
at
incredibly
Frequency
professional.
Studios.
They're the most professionalist.
The mostest, yes.
That's not.
Well, you take comics seriously when you have a copy of ROM up in your background. So people know, like when they're watching, this is serious.
That's like the only.
high
That's the
brow
only
comic.
serious comic that I have on that shelf, though.
I have some good comics on mine. I'm always blocking my side, though. But I've got some good stuff.
You do.
Some good stuff.
No, look at Lady Merc. Like that book, has 4 issues, and it keeps pretending that it has new issues by producing the covers, and people buy
Covers,
it.
yeah.
What, Lady Mechanica?
Got a
No, he was talking about Merc.
Lady Merc.
Where?
What's her name? Lady Merc, whatever.
The Merc comics.
Isn't that Lady Merc? Whatever.
There's
No,
Lady
this is
Mechanica.
Lady
And
Mechanica.
Benitez has that in Image now.
Lady Mechanica.
Image picked it
yeah,
up.
But there's only
5
5 issues and 1,000 covers.
No, I mean he does do a lot of covers. There's 5 trades out, so there's 5 trades, and then actually there's probably 6 trade. I think they just or are putting out his newest Ministry of Hell, which he ran as a Kickstarter and then put out through Image,
Right.
and then
You would know. I don't read.
he's
Lady
not
Mechanica,
drawing
though.
it anymore. The next arc, I can't think of her name. She did one of the Evanescence comics.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that chick that we really liked.
I can picture her, but I can't think of her name.
Her the issues upstairs.
Yeah,
I know
but,
exactly where it is.
yeah.
I'm not gonna go get
No.
it though.
I like that it sounded like you said Evanescence, like the band.
No, it is.
Evanescence.
It's totally.
Yeah, like, it's the
Evanescence
band.
has a whole
There's
run
a
of
whole
comics.
line. Yeah, they have a whole line of
that they
comics. It's
do.
crazy.
And it's like
It's
Tumblrs
okay.
and stuff.
It's not great. Some of the color, like the colorist that they have though, she was crazy good. I'll share it with you. I can't
Yeah, they
find
have,
the
really
colored
cool art.
mermaid right now. I'm not going to keep
But
looking because it's
Believe it or not, the no
Vortex.
contest guy. So he is a lawyer for Ghostface Killer from Wu-Tang, and we tried to get
Nice.
Ghostface Killer, but his lawyers, his other lawyers who handles other stuff, were ballistic of all the things and how limited you could use it. And we're just
Wow.
I don't want to go through a 13-person approval process for Ghostface Killer. If we can get the full Wu-Tang clan, we're in. But
they're doing comics too. They
hot, that's
started
funny.
up their
Are you
own
talking
comic
about
imprint.
They have,
the
yeah, for a
artist
while.
Rick Sailor. She is. She's gorgeous. Hold on. I follow her on Instagram. So 1 second.
Oh, you're gonna start playing with your computer tabs now
I'm gonna try
Okay.
and find her name.
with the artist of Evanescence, the artist who does the lead singer.
No, the artist, that's Amy Lee. The artist that's taking over
For Benitez.
Benitez.
Yeah.
Rick Sailor wrote "She's hot." That's all as I know, and I'm assuming that's who he's talking about because it's the only chick. Unless
She's on YouTube apparently.
cool.
Unless he's talking about
Wait,
Amy Lee. which
wait,
would
is
be
Rick
like-
saying that there's a hot girl on YouTube?
Oh, which one? Where can we go to find her?
Wow.
Amy Lee is dead. I don't know. You might think she's hot.
Amy Lee,
Amy Lee died?
the Pink Ranger?
No, that was Kimberly
Kimberly.
Lee.
Isn't
I don't
Amy
know.
Lee? Yes, Amy Lee Evanescence. I'm right.
Is she die? Is she dead?
No, she didn't die.
It says she was born in 81.
She did
Oh my
not
God,
die.
she
They
was
just
born in
teared.
81.
She's
They just
41.
This
teared. They
bitch
just
younger than
toured.
me.
They just toured not that long ago, or
I've wasted my life.
It's true.
She apparently has epilepsy, which is probably not great for a rock band person.
Fun in bed though. That was
No, Amy Lee's fine.
Horrible joke. No, the lead singer from Evanescence.
Is hot.
She's dead.
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
She's very.
She
much
might be,
not.
unless Amy Lee isn't the lead singer of Evanescence. Is
She
that the?
totally is. I even double checked.
Oh, I don't know what to tell you. Rick, you might be
not
living in an
dead.
alternate timeline, buddy. It's okay. I've been there myself.
She's literally 5 days ago got a diamond eyebrow piercing.
But no, she's very
Rick
much
Rick
alive.
is in an
Are you
alternate
thinking
timeline.
of Amy Winehouse?
Yes,
Amy
Amy
Winehouse
Winehouse.
died.
What did she do?
Overdose.
No, what did she do?
Oh, she was a singer. Sorry, call us when you're sober.
Yeah.
Well done, Mo. Well
A-
done.
Amy Winehouse was. Can't even think of the song right now. I have it in my head a little bit, but
It's Rehab. That's why I was like, she
I don't want to go
overdosed.
to rehab. You say
Yeah.
no, no, no.
I'm trying to find
Yeah.
the name of the
She did not go to rehab, and she died.
Yes. That's why I was like, she overdosed.
And Rick is
Yes,
agreeing
Winehouse
is
is
dead
dead.
too.
But Amy
Rick,
Lee is
Rick,
not.
It's the Mandela effect. You're thinking of something from an alternate timeline that got in. It's not Berenstein Bears. It's the Bernstein Bears. You know what I mean? Like,
Stain, not
we're
stain.
so convinced it's one thing and it's not. She's not dead. You're going to wake up in the morning and realize that, your whole world's a lie.
The
been
world
there, buddy.
ended
I've
in
been there.
2012
It's rough.
for the Mayan calendar.
And Harambe. Remember when D-Wag and Little Good Stuff did a Weebhab song? I said, Mo, Mo, Mo. I don't want to go to Weebhab. Yeah, that was it. I do remember. That was Amy Winehouse?
Yes.
Okay. You're looking at all sorts of stuff,
I'm
and it's
trying
interesting
to
over there.
find
She's just
books
searching the
online.
internet.
You should share it. You should share.
on-
You should share your screen as you click through everything really fast, because it's
I was on
distracting.
Benitez's Instagram because he posted about it not that long ago, but now I can't.
I got the
I don't
time.
even know
and
what we're
Biro
looking at
says it's
anymore.
fine. That's good.
I'm
She's-
trying to find the name of, but he's just talking about Amy Lee, so it doesn't matter. Never mind.
She's looking at the Benitez page still. I'm fielding
bother
questions and getting distracted.
Sorry.
I really shouldn't eat cake before I
No,
come on.
you should not.
I get really distracted.
I think you're fine. You're doing great. I'm proud of you.
Ain't got the
Thank you,
time to
Travis.
waste
I
over
appreciate it.
time.
It's very kind of you. I
Very
know
fun.
I'm a goldfish with no memory, and I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. I think you're great.
Thank you.
You'll have to come back once we actually bring back our karaoke show.
Yeah, that's supposed to happen, but we keep running out of time to organize
Well,
it. We
so-
even said to Tyler, "We'll do it," and a whole bunch of people were like, "Yeah, we're in," and then nothing happened.
Right, well, because April is always just busy for us.
You know another month that's busy?
What?
May.
Because we're going to be in Japan.
And what happens in June?
Then your birthday.
No, we're doing the book with Kevin Keene. And then, yes, my birthday.
Yeah,
but
but
that's
that-
going to
it
be
doesn't
dominating all
launch,
of our
yeah.
time.
But that's what you're
But then in July, Judex launches. Yeah. So I guess the first time we'll really have to, breathe is August.
Well, no, but what I meant was in April we have to travel
It is
for
April.
stuff. Yes, which is why we couldn't do it. And then I have my concert at the end of April. So March and April we travel a lot. The end of April is my show. So I don't do a lot of extra singing because I have a lot of rehearsals and I don't want to blow out my voice. We would do it in May, but we're going to Japan. So
Hopefully.
possibly
finally,
in
maybe.
June we could
What
do.
cons should we do this year, Travis?
Well, hold on. Let's go about Japan. My daughter, I have a 21-year-old daughter who is in Japan, who's going to Japan in May as well. She's working at a
that's
hotel.
awesome.
She's doing a hospitality thing. She's doing an internship for a month, which is pretty
What hotel?
Oh, that's awesome. You don't have to say it on
I
the
can
internet
find
if
that
you
out.
Yeah, don't
want
say it on the
to.
internet. Don't say it on the internet. Don't say it on the internet. That's a good point.
Yep.
The internet is
I'm
forever.
worried about someone who is listening to this who's in Japan trying to find her.
We actually have several people who watch our show who are in Japan, so that's why I was like, it's not I mean, not that they would do anything. They're awesome people
No,
because they watch our
would.
show.
They would go say
But,
hi and
yeah.
bring her candy.
Good
That
candy,
sounds
not-
weird
I
because
was gonna
strangers
say,
bringing
I'm
people candies.
Good
Yeah.
candy, not.
I'm like 0 for 10 here.
You are.
Well,
Mobix
we'll
says
give them
August
back
is his
and
birthday.
we'll have them deliver stuff. So cons you should go to. You should always go to Heroes Con. I am not going this year, but I want to go so bad. I've heard great things. For you, Terrific Con, which I think you're going again, right?
No, actually, we are not doing Terrificon this year. We are.
I thought you guys did good, even though you didn't have a book.
We did.
We did really good without a book, and we do even better with a book.
but there was another convention that was the same weekend.
What was that?
So
And the tables, I think, were they were sold out of the ones we wanted, and the other ones were like, what, $900 or something?
yeah, so they still have exhibitors tables left, but they're very expensive. They're like $900.
We're not going to break even on that, I don't think. I think we're going to sell $900 worth of books, and then it's just like, we also would have gone and gotten the hotel, and it's an expense that I don't think we want to try and cover. Like,
Well, how far is
it's one thing to
Terrificon
do a
from you?
con and make money. It's another thing to do a con and lose money.
How far is Terrificon from you? Because
Not
they're both
far.
connected.
It's not that far, but it's far enough that
But Travis,
I
I
don't
like,
wanna
I like
drive
luxury. I
back
don't
and
want to
forth.
Fair.
Cons are my excuse to take a mini vacation. I get to stay there. I can be, oh, I'm sorry, I'm out of town. How far out of town? 10 minutes from my
No,
house,
it's
but I'm out
more
of
than
town.
10 minutes.
It's like a couple hours.
It's like an hour.
Yeah.
Which is enough
An hour and a
that,
half, right?
that Neff doesn't want to, especially if he has to be there early.
Forget it. No early. Early on the weekends?
Yeah,
No.
he sleeps in when we do conventions. I'm there to open
gets
the booth.
early. She gets early and
he
opens
comes
up the
in
booth,
after
yeah.
he wakes up and gets coffee.
I come in at
which
10
is
a.m.
a ways away.
Yeah.
Well, first Mobig says that August is his birthday, so we'll be very busy. And I said we'll have to do a birthday karaoke stream just for Mo.
Well,
So that Mo can
I'm
be
not
fun.
happy with the karaoke. I want to go to karaoke with you guys in real life. I think
For real,
that-
yeah. I think it'd be a lot
That's
of fun.
Yeah.
We could have like
down.
really sweet Japanese mixed drinks and get completely
Not
hammered.
everywhere has Asian karaoke with private rooms and food.
That is the best, though.
I understand.
That is my
but
favorite kind of
that's
karaoke.
Mostly only in Japan and New York City. There are some places, but like none of the
No,
karaoke
we would
places by
close
us have
that
it.
place down. That
But
was awesome.
but you guys are in New England, so Scorpion Bowls are still a thing. So I mean, you got
Yes,
that
they
going for
are.
you.
It's true. It's true.
They're on
Florida
fire.
So
Mobix says the only way you'd make your money back is to convince the attendants your book is a Pokemon. I've seen them. They are determined to catch them all.
So I like in your area, you know, we talked about Granite State Con recently. I did that last year. I don't know who the guest list is. I mean, can you beat Kevin Eastman? Like last year was big with Kevin
No,
Eastman.
you can't. You can't, especially not for indie comics.
And Kevin Eastman had his own room. I don't know if you know this. So last year, like everyone else was there, and then if you did a Ninja Turtles cover, you were in this other room. Like if you've ever done anything on Ninja Turtle cover, anything, you were in a Ninja Turtles room. So it's all Ninja Turtles people, which is wild.
Oh, that's cool.
So that was pretty cool. I don't know what they're gonna do.
They do have a. I saw the map though for this year. They have another Teenage
They have a
Mutant
Ninja
Ninja
Turtles
Turtles
room.
room. Now that you said that, I'm like, wait a
That
minute.
might be a thing now.
I
They
thought
made,
that's in
maybe they made it
the
a thing.
armory. You could pay more to be in the armory.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think
than
that
be in the
like
regular.
because Ninja Turtles are like from New Hampshire, like they go extra.
Right. That's fair.
So I think it should be a tick room. Not enough people sell the tick, which is also from New Hampshire.
They should make another run of the tick, and this one should be like the tick versus the evil tick that makes people allergic to meat. He's smaller, but
Right.
worse.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I was reading. Have you ever heard of War of the Independents?
Yes, dude.
Oh, I'm like, you used to have them all up here.
Right over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just opened those up because I found them. I was going through some boxes because I was looking to sell a couple of things, and it was so sad reading it because some of it was. This is 2013, so literally 10 years. Majority of those characters, I don't know who they are, and that's heartbreaking. You know that so many characters have come, especially when you talk about because every issue is like kind of focused. So they've got issue 2 is the minority issue. I don't know a single one of those minority characters, and that breaks my.
I was saying the same thing. We were talking about like the there is no representation in comics, and I was like, have you read War of the Independents?
Right.
There is a pantheon of Latin and Black characters, minority, underrepresented characters. You don't need to make new ones. You need to take the ones that exist and make books with them. And it was last year or something. It was like a year plus ago, and we got into this heated discussion about it. I think it might have been on Twitter, where people were saying they need to make more minority characters because they haven't existed. And I was like, but bro, where have you been? I mean,
Right.
granted, I wouldn't have known about them either if I hadn't been reading indie books like that, right?
Right.
So maybe they have a point. Maybe there weren't enough mainstream characters like that, but like that was the whole point of indie. It was the stuff
Right.
that the mainstream wasn't doing. So go support those things. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Well, and I don't think they've ever done a good job of like the one like making. They always choose like the weirdest ones to like stick around, right? Like Blade is always sold pretty decently. Keep Blade around, keep Black Panther around, like, but they'll cancel these series. Like people don't seem to remember that Black Panther was gone for a long time until Marvel Knights brought it back. Like it was gone for a very long time. Like it wasn't around. Like people don't think about those things and try to figure it out. But then you're replacing like Blue Beetle with the Spanish Blue Beetle, which I think is a great character as well. But the original people, that's a beloved character. Like you need to like be more aware of who these characters are. Like if it's beloved, don't replace, right?
Right.
Yeah, I could see like the alternate version, like the Miles Peter thing. I don't begrudge Miles Morales being Miles Morales. I mean, like that he's literally Black Spider-Man from another dimension. Like that's fine. He's not replacing Peter, at least not in my mind. They both exist. They both have a role to fill. But it's the fact that you have characters that exist that nobody has really known anything about that could be embraced, that could be beloved. Also, about Black Panther, I found out talking to Adam the other day. Did you know Wesley Snipes owned the rights to Black Panther for the longest time? And then when he defaulted on his taxes and everything and he lost all of his assets, those rights reverted back to Marvel. And he was trying to get Black Panther made forever. And no one would do it. And then they reverted to Marvel. And then like 2 years later, out comes Black Panther.
Right.
I could imagine being Wes and being mad as F about that. Like,
Although I feel like the casting of Chadwick Boseman was really good.
sure, but even if I was Wes and I wasn't going to star in it, I would be the producer and collect points on it.
That is fair.
You know, I'd collect points and all of my tax problems would go away.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he made enough money for not those tax problems. He just chose not to pay them.
Yeah, well, once you get caught, you gotta have a plan, right? And a big financial windfall is a good way to convince the government not to seize your assets or go into forfeiture.
Right.
Dude, taxes were Tuesday. What a year! What a year!
It was rough. Heather, my wife, put them together, and she made us in the positive by whopping $300.
You and me both, right, bro? get them to do it. They're the smart ones.
I don't know how she did it because I literally looked at her. I was like, "All right, how much do we owe? Like, what do we got?" She's like, "Oh, we're in the positive 300." I was like, "That's not possible, but I believe you."
We started the day before we started looking at deductions and every. Okay.
We're not gonna.
I was gonna say,
no.
I don't want to be that much in debt. I don't want to owe that much to the government. What's wrong with this picture? But we're okay. She fixed it.
I did.
They could have made Blue Beetle
Legally
a
and
friendly
correctly.
rival,
I didn't,
Spanish
fix
Fly.
it.
Do you remember way back in the day, Hulk Hogan and his like wrestling buddy heroes? And there was Hulk Hogan, and there was Andre the Giant, and there was Jimmy Superfly, right? And I always thought he was the Spanish Fly. Yeah, that was awkward growing up, but you know, I don't know, weird anecdote.
Well, you're weird, and you ate chocolate cake, which apparently makes you more weird.
It's a big piece of chocolate
I
cake.
understand.
You know, we had like what, half an hour between the shows. Like, what are you gonna eat? Oh, there's chocolate cake.
Yeah, there's
Chocolate
also
cake?
mangoes and mangoes and pineapples and apples. But yes, chocolate cake was your only option.
Chocolate cake.
I mean, when you look around the house and there's chocolate cake and other ones, that is the only option.
Travis gets it. He understands me, man.
Right.
Season of my soul. I feel seen.
Got you.
I do my hearts like this, so I can't do it like
Yeah,
that.
you gotta do
So
upside
it's my
down.
elbow when I do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it looks like a triangle. 'Cause
What happened? I don't know what happened.
Triangles are important. That's how you know something special happens.
that one.
You wear your motorcycle.
Yes. Your motorcycle mech.
Can't
made
wait
out
to
of
get that
triangle.
issue, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Yes. And if you didn't realize and you're just tuning in and thinking we're just babbling, you can
Incoherently,
get
which
Neff
we're doing.
in the issue of Expired, which you can grab.
Correct.
I am
Yeah,
a
we-
collector's item.
$70 to fund. Neff can sign it at any con. So if you go up,
Yep.
and, 'cause
Yeah.
I will do that for you. I will absolutely sign any of your books that you guys want, and I'm not important enough to charge for my signature, so yeah, you don't have to worry about coming.
I
up to see
charged
me at
for
a table.
one during MegaCon, but only because they put money in my hand. And I was
nice.
confused, and I just didn't want to like. I felt like I'd be rude to go like no.
to give them their
Yeah,
money
no,
back.
here's your money.
Get the fuck out of here.
Right there, you can get Neff and his badass motorcycle.
With my like super gun, I
Yes.
love my super
So
gun
back
too.
it now. Only 70 away from funding. So
70 away from funding.
Yeah, and you got 36 hours. I think we'll make it.
Yeah.
I'm really excited, hoping that we will. I'm pretty sure we will.
Links are pinned in the chat, and they're in the description of the video as
We were
well.
also talking about another book of Travis's that is also
No
live at the
contest.
exact same time.
with
'Cause I
only
do
10
that.
hours left.
I gotta know. I gotta know why though.
I had 4 live actually when we
I would
started.
say you
this
had more.
It
So
just
wh-
happens that way when you're building all these things. Like they need to come out. Like I don't want to wait, and I know it does affect like profitability of some of the books, but like I'm doing so many things, man. Like I just got to get content out. It's just got to come out. And ships fly where they may. And then my wife's writing comics. My wife wrote that, the Puff Van Winkle, and she did I don't know if you heard about it. My last Kickstarter, which I don't think you guys backed, maybe you did, but she wrote a song about my kid called Cottage Cheese, and literally there's a whole song with it. That's an add-on. So it's Cottage Cheese, and it has a complete song on it, and it's a song about my son, and it's my whole family is in it, like different pictures and all
Oh,
sorts
that's
of stuff.
awesome. Oh, no, I totally missed that. How did I miss that?
It's wild. So I can show you the video. But yeah, this is live. We got just a little bit to get it funded. It'll fund, but sooner I can get the stretch goals. Neff action figures. Neff. All the Neff is the star. Like the book, this goes from other people to much like the art team. Switching. Everything.
I'm
is
a
about,
supporting actor, but I'm very important.
wrong.
Tell
That's
Neff is very humble.
Yeah, I'm also tweeting it out. 'Cause why does it do the thing sending tweet and it just like sits there for an hour?
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't actually send. It happens a lot when I tweet through my phone, like on the app. It'll be like sending tweet,
Maybe we have
and then
like
it
settings because of Twitter blue and
disappears
stuff.
and doesn't actually post anywhere. I'm like, oh,
But yeah,
you can check it out there, which is on YouTube, but I will put it in the
and it's wild. This song is wild.
Regular chat.
So be prepared. It could be karaoke.
And Heather wrote the song too.
Heather wrote the song, performed it, the whole thing.
That's awesome.
So
Very
this
cool.
is a add-on if anybody needs it.
Excellent. I'll have to adjust and throw that in there because I don't think we.
Well, you guys probably don't do a lot of kids' books, I bet.
No, the only kids book that we have done recently was the Flocks book, and that's more of an all ages.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's all ages,
right.
not so much kids. Yeah, I don't even really have anyone with little ones right now. So.
They're not little anymore.
Yeah, everybody's grown up. They grew up so fast.
I'm trying to make sure that it's even there. I'm trying to check.
Green leaf on my package. I see Pump Van Winkle. We got that.
Yes.
Signed.
Coins of Judas, Voodoo Nation.
Oh my goodness, it's not there.
Uh-oh.
Hold on, we'll fix it.
So ignore the link that I just...
No, don't ignore the link.
Don't
Click it
ignore
and
the
go back
link.
to book.
Click it. No, that I put the YouTube link in.
But I think you're probably going to have to. Well, you could play the YouTube link if you'd like.
Oh.
If you want to hear this ridiculous song, but I will add it to the add-ons right now. I don't know why it got missed.
Oh, you were talking about on the thing. Got it. Sorry, I thought you meant the YouTube. Here.
That is the
Get it
song.
out here. Let me. The Super Delish Sing-Along Comic Book.
Super delish sing-along comic book.
That's what it says. Hold on. I'm gonna add this.
About cottage cheese. So
It is about cottage cheese. Where's the thing? What's happening here? There you go.
Remy sailing in the ocean, from Cape Canaveral to the Keys. He once drank a secret potion with a pinch of cottage cheese. They went riding in the moonlight, magic carpets in the breeze. Cannonballed into a pool of creamy goodness, cottage
this is the thing.
cheese. Cottage cheese, cottage cheese. It's all I want to eat, it's cottage cheese. Cottage cheese, cottage cheese. Every day for breakfast, cottage cheese. Remy's climbing up.
Did you guys?
So yeah,
record it
that's the
yourself?
thing.
That's
I think you
very
got the
cute.
gist.
It's catchy. It's
It is, yeah.
earworm.
Aaron's gonna be walking.
So
around
you know,
with
if
a
you
big cottage cheese.
Cottage
if your life has
cheese.
been missing cottage cheese song, now it can be fixed.
There you go.
It is now added as an add-on. So if you'd like to, own that forever.
Excellent. I don't like cottage cheese in real life, but I imagine the book is better than
The
the
food?
food.
I don't know. They might advertise like this book is better than cottage cheese, and I don't like cottage cheese, so
I don't like
Yes,
cottage
you
cheese either, but my son does.
it's
So I
not
think-
like a food that I would imagine a child would like. That's
Right?
I don't want to
It's
say
wild.
your kid is odd, but like,
I'm going to say it.
good. Better you than me.
It's wild. He likes cottage cheese, pizza, and then basically anything with dairy on it. Like, that's important.
He is going to be
Cheese
so
sticks,
lactose when he's older.
Things cheese, milk.
Nice. Yeah, Neff is a big fan of pizza.
Yeah,
So
I'm a
they have
fan
that
of
in
pizza.
common.
Huge fan of pizza. Like,
very fun.
my first love is pizza.
Oh, thanks.
First,
Okay.
not last.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, depends upon when you
I
go.
thought you meant first, like number one, not
No,
first,
it was
first.
like I was like 3 when I had pizza.
That's fair. That's fair. I hope he was saying cottage cheese, comma pizza, and not cottage, cheese pizza.
Yes, comma, the comma.
Yeah,
Comma
cottage cheese
chameleon.
pizza is gross. Comma chameleon
Oh,
is
and-
good.
And going back on that stuff, I know they're making a remake, but I think Labyrinth needs to come back.
No.
More Labyrinth.
No.
You think
They're already
that
doing
they
it,
could do
so-
an updated
No.
version?
I know they
that's
are, and
as
I'm
good?
not. No.
Well, have you
Some
ever read
things
the-
are sacred.
Have you ever read the comic? It's pretty good.
I read some of it, but no.
They could remake the comic.
Yeah, you could remake the comic. But you cannot do Labyrinth without Jim Henson and David Bowie. I'm sorry. No. Jim Henson, Brian Froud, and David Bowie are instrumental.
You can tell we have opinions about this.
Yes.
So
I will die on this hill. I don't care. I will take you all out with
She
me.
is planted
But
her
I would
feet.
argue
All
that the-
5 feet of her is going to die on this hill.
Yes, and I will take you all with me. Oh, them's fighting words, Noah.
I felt that
Mo, you need to time him out.
I felt that Dark Crystal Netflix was better than the movie.
I didn't see it, so I wouldn't know.
It was not better.
I'm loving this.
But I liked
That
it.
feels
It is
better.
not better.
not-
No,
it's not
it is
better.
not better.
No way.
No.
So, do you think they should like remake the Fraggles?
They-
Punch all of you. They are actually. Actually, there was supposed to be
already
one
done.
with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but
No, it's
Did it come out?
live. The Fraggles has a new TV show on Apple TV.
oh, that's why. Because I don't have Apple TV.
Is that
Yeah,
a good thing?
it's-
Are you
it's
gonna-
I
on Apple
don't
TV
know.
now. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's bad. It's
See, Mo understands me. Thank you. That's I 100% agree.
See, well, Mo is the internet, so.
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen the new Fraggle? I don't have Apple TV, so
I've
do
seen
I
a few
have to
episodes.
watch it, Mo? You have to tell me, because we have the same feeling about Dark Crystal. So.
Well, do you have a random? This is a random question. Do you have a PS5?
No, we have PS4. Wow.
PS5.
Aaron hasn't.
I don't know why they give you it for 7 months. PS5.
I haven't played enough games to warrant it, but Fires of Rubicon is coming out later this year. We're not sure when, so I will have to be playing it on PlayStation 5 because I have a lot of friends that unless it supports crossplay. If it supports
I was gonna
crossplay, I'm
say.
playing it on PC.
I'm like you announced that you were gonna play on PC, so that's
But
why
it's
we
because I want to play with all my friends that are on PlayStation Network.
Mo says, when you watch the first episode, don't panic when you hear the lame theme song they go with. Just be patient. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got Ali.
Okay.
Ali in the house.
Hi, Ollie.
Yo!
Play Resident Evil 4.
I think Fraggles
you
is a
can't
little
see
harder.
them, but like pretty much all of the things we just talked about, with the exception, I don't have a Labyrinth lunchbox, but I have Fraggle Rock and Dark Crystal up there, along with My Secret of Nim. But so like they have.
Oh, dude, they could remake Secret
No!
of Nim.
No, leave my shit alone! Do not remake Labyrinth, no Dark
leave
Crystal,
my
no
shit
Fabrics,
alone!
no Secret of Nim. Be gone! Leave it. It is already perfect.
Be gone, foul remakes!
Yes! Why do you think Power is my favorite?
Oh, boy.
I mean, well, Moki was always kind of weird, so that makes sense that they would make a weird choice with her, because she is weird. I did not like Moki. She annoyed me a little bit.
I liked the Doozers
Yes,
because they were
Cotterpin.
quiet.
Cotterpin wasn't quiet,
The Doozers? Yeah, they were quiet,
but
weren't
Cotterpin was
No, I don't
one of
remember
the
Cotterpin.
Doozers. Cotterpin was red.
that-
they? I remember they looked
Best
like
friend.
Bunsen with hats. Right? They kind of looked like Bunsen.
Worse. They made her worse. I don't even know how that. They should call her Methy now.
They actually have a Doozer show as well for kids, which is pretty decent.
Oh, neat.
Hi, Amanda B.
Amanda B, have you seen the new Fraggle show on Apple TV?
The Doozers are no longer quiet. See?
Yeah, the
See, you're
Doozers
gonna be on my side now.
have upgraded.
Didn't know if I could support this now.
The Cotterpin was.
Well, and you
were,
remember
like-
the Doozers had an episode where they sang. That it was just one episode, but in
Was
the
that
original,
on, like,
Everyone
the
makes
all-musical
mistakes.
Episode though, because they've. Well, I mean, they all had music in them. Never mind.
I think it was an episode from the Doozers' point of view. It was about if I remember correctly, is they had fully eaten all of the tracks because the Fraggles would eat their tracks, so they had to work, and they had fully eaten it all. and they-
That sounds vaguely familiar.
And they were
My
mad
favorite.
because.
Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. They were mad.
Go ahead.
That was it. That's all I had to
Oh,
say.
okay.
And they were mad because of it.
Yeah. My favorite Fraggle Rock episode is the episode where Red Fraggle discovers the last of the lily creatures.
Oh, yeah.
It is my absolute favorite. I had my sister tape it off the television. I used to watch it over and over and over again. And I love the song that Red Fraggle sings in that episode.
She remembers these things from like 30 plus years ago. Like they were yesterday.
Just that one episode, I remember that well.
There are many things that you remember that well from your childhood. I'm
That's
jealous.
fair.
Mo says, I only watched 2 episodes of the new show, which is more than I watched of the new Amazing Stories. Oh, dude, the never-ending story.
Do not remake that either. I hate
Well,
Well,
Maybe
that's
doesn't
you
have
never.
to.
You don't have to remake that because it never ends, so you're good.
That's fair.
And TM says his Fraggles for girls. They sound kind of lame. To an Omega Giga Chad like you, Noah, I understand.
Fraggles was awesome.
For girls.
For everyone.
Yeah, but to an Omega Giga Chad like Noah,
Well, to someone who thinks that David Bowie sucks, then yes, you probably would not like Fraggle Rock because you don't have good taste. The fact that you like the Beatles, I don't know, is an anomaly, I suppose.
Amanda B says, I don't know how you do it, Frequency Girl, and I'm sure she means
Put up
putting
with
up with me.
I Some days I don't know how I do it.
Me neither. Yeah.
The reason why Frequency Girl is here because she knew Fraggles was going to come up because
Yes.
we're in tune. We know.
Yes.
I'm a huge Muppets fan. I just got Muppets. I got Adorables from Muppets today, which is great. I'm excited about the new Muppet show, Electric Mayhem.
They're also going to do a some version of Muppets live on Broadway.
That's what, dude. I gotta tell you, I went to Disney and they were doing a live Muppets show. Like, obviously they had the speakers, and it like changed my heart. I was like, because it was one of those things that you're like, you could never see this live. Like, you're just never gonna see it live. It's not a thing. Like in America, in Europe, they do it all the time. They have like once a year they do it, but in America, I was like, I'll never get to see a Muppet live, and they're right there. Like Kermit, Fozzie, and Sam Eagle. Like, I was losing my effing mind.
Well, now you can go to New York, and I don't know when it's coming, but it's like just they haven't made all of the official announcements yet, but there's like the whispers of confirmation that there is some sort of Muppet Broadway thing happening in the near future. So I'm excited.
I don't like the new Kermit, so that's tough for me.
Yeah,
He's got a weird voice.
I agree, and
It doesn't sound like Kermit. Doesn't quite sound like Kermit.
I think, and people get so mad. They're like, there's thousands of people on the internet who can do Kermit's voice. Yes, but are they fucking puppeteers? Like,
yeah,
you
that's the
need to
thing.
do both.
Yeah. Oh, Neff, you're brutal. I just
Yeah.
read your comment. Yo.
What? Someone had to put him in his place.
Whoa. So NTM said David Bowie should have spent more time in an insane asylum and less time in the recording studio. We're gonna time you out, Noah. And Neff countered with John Lennon should have spent more time in the studio and less time walking to Central Park.
See, I would say less time dating, but that's
Yeah, he definitely should have spent less time dating.
No, Mo, why do you hurt me to my very core? CGI Falcor, voiced by Miley Cyrus.
I need it.
No. John Lennon could walk wherever and whenever he wants. Teach stalkers not to stalk. That's my realistic
Yeah, it's
solution.
true. That's true. We should really examine.
John Lennon should have been less of a hypocrite. Might still be walking. Oh my goodness, all of these.
So if you're going to put the Muppets on Broadway, wouldn't you have to do Muppets Take Manhattan? Since they're in Manhattan.
That's one thing, which is my favorite Muppet movie, by the way.
It's a good one.
It has the best songs in it. For me, it comes down to the songs most of the time.
Which one has Rainbow Connection in it?
Okay, so
First
that's
one.
the original
Gotcha.
Muppet movie. Okay, so it's tied for number one. It's tied for number one.
No, the first one's the
Take Manhattan
best.
is good, though.
I did like the Jason Segel one though a lot. Like that.
I liked it, but the first one, not the.
Right,
They did
right.
two of them, right? Yeah, the first one was pretty good, but it's not on the same level as like the original.
Well, you're also
Muppet
older now.
movies. Yeah, but I will still watch Muppets Take Manhattan.
But
and
see,
the Muppet movie.
Like, I'm a weird guy. Like, I watched the Muppet TV show. I don't know if you remember that, but the Muppets got drunk
Yes.
and it affected me. I was like, that's not okay. They can't get drunk. They're just naturally weird. They're like, they should not be drinking. Stop it, Muppets.
They got drunk? Which one is that? Was that the one where they had like not the newest reboot, but the one like in the 90s?
It's in the 2000s and like
Oh, I
2000s.
didn't like that one.
It was like
did
The
not like
Office
that
with the
one.
Muppets.
Yes, I hated that one. I did not like that. I watched like an episode of it. I'm like, nope.
And Kermit
Done.
and Miss Piggy broke up. It was wild.
Yes,
Wild
I
shit.
was not a fan of that. No, that was bad Muppets.
Right.
I'm not a fan. So
But
You're
Muppets
babbled
don't
better.
seem to work. They keep trying different things, and I think some of them are pretty good, and they just don't seem to work anymore. And I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay as long as you keep trying things, like to keep it relevant. Like they don't need to work because I still have my childhood.
that's
Yeah,
fair.
you can still look back on what you had when you were young.
I
They can do
do-
all the new stuff. Doesn't need to exist in your mind.
I do agree with Noah on one point. Miss Piggy is annoying. I don't know that she talked too much, but I hate Miss Piggy. I'm not,
Right, I'm not a
a fan
fan.
of Miss Piggy. I don't like Miss Piggy.
Nobody's as good as Animal.
That's fair.
I'm a big Swedish Chef guy.
I was gonna say Swedish Chef and Beaker
Beaker. Yeah.
are my two favorites. Probably because I sound like Beaker, like.
Yeah.
It's very
Kindred
easy.
spirit. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah, it's okay.
It's deep.
Well, we've been going for like 2 hours hanging out and talking about these two awesome campaigns.
And everything else.
What do you say we wrap it up for now, and then like
I think that's a good
maybe
idea.
Have another Travis Gibb stream when the next campaign is live.
Well, I mean, that's in a month, so probably not then, but at some point.
Well, like you probably should come on for the next campaign. That's
All right.
broke down the trade, right?
Yeah, broke down the trade.
I can
Unless
be
we're in
like,
Japan.
I've read all of these books. Like give some
I
actual
think you have
insight.
them in metal, don't you? Didn't you get those in
Yeah,
metal?
I do have them in metal because it's a metal book. There's 4 dead bodies, guys.
4 dead bodies, guys. And what's cool about that one, what we're going to do is I have tons of shorts that I've collected over the years that will be stretch goals. Like I literally have an issue's worth of shorts that we can add, but they're all going to be stretch goals. So we're going to fund it, and then we're going to add those as we go to make the book better. But they're all done, so nobody has to wait. And I've got people like Jonathan Hendrick and Chuck Pinu, like people who've done some stuff around.
Very cool. That is awesome and exciting.
Yeah. So I think for now that's going to do it for us
Yes.
tonight. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Travis, thank you so much for hanging out here with us and
Wait,
just
I have to
shooting.
interrupt you. Rick Sailor says, wait, no romper
I
room?
can't just do an outro ever. I just can't.
I know I have to share
can't.
this one. No, you can't because Blame It on Rick Sailor says no romper room. My cousin was on romper room and I was jealous because I didn't get to go and she got like to play with the actual romper stompers and not the ones that like you make on your own at home out of tin cans.
Are you going to
and
tell the
string.
story about how you were on Carmen Sandiego and they didn't pick you?
I was on Carmen. I got to be in the audience and dance on the map at the end, but even though I got the highest score, I didn't get picked because I was a short, fat 6th grader, and they went with the tall, pretty 8th grader who didn't answer a single question and lost. Just saying.
And like I said, that's going to be it for us tonight, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out and listening to us just, talk about random shit as well.
I want
as
to address that as a whole episode.
That's right. We're going to have to go back and, re-examine it, flesh it out.
Yeah, I've
if
got
you're
a lot
not
of
subscribed. You got to subscribe. You like this content. Give it a thumbs up. And please click the bell for notifications to know when we go live next.
And tune into the frequency.
We'll see you next time.